flowing, dreams start glowing. Let's be ready, heartbeat steady, cause the air gets heavy. The game is here, no time for fear. Can you hear the cheers? Yeah. Let's go. Stars will rise with the eyes of the bride. Yeah. Stars will rise with the eyes of the bride.
This is Taco Cabana Thursday Night Lights, presented by Thomas J. Henry.
Welcome to Ferris Stadium, everybody. Are you ready for some big-time 6A Texas high school football? We are. Tonight we got Johnson and O'Connor live on Thursday Night Lights. Good evening, everybody. I'm Don Harris along with Chuck McKittick, my broadcast partner down on the field. Chuck, and in San Antonio, when you mention the names Johnson and O'Connor, you're talking about two playoff and perennial powers.
Well, Don, with as jacked up as the entire offseason has been, this is going to be a really interesting ball game. We could start with the fact that both coaches are former Judson football stars. Mark Soto's in his first year at Johnson, and of course David Molesky has built quite the program at O'Connor. This is going to be one heck of a matchup and a great way to start the 6A season.
Mark Soto inherits a Johnson team led by Ty Reesner. Not a bad way to get started coming into your program. This kid can play.
No, he really can. As we all know, he's going to Air Force. That tells you not only about his athletic ability, but what he's got going on upstairs. I think what's really going to be interesting this season for Ty Reesner is Coach Soto has really diversified this offense. They're going to spread you. They're going to run a lot of run-pass option stuff. So as good as Ty Reesner's been, we may actually see this guy explode off the stat sheet this season.
Yeah, and keep an eye on his wide receiver, Shane Johnson, tonight. And a wide receiver from O'Connor will be the focus of the Johnson defense, and that's John Locke.
Yeah, John Locke got a lot of playing time as a sophomore last year, and this guy comes from really good bloodlines. His brother Chase, who also played at O'Connor, is a preferred walk-on at USC. This young man's got great hands and is more than likely going to have a lot of opportunities to play football at the next level when he's a senior.
Well, it is a little warmer than last week. It's time for our Air Today game time weather, but it's still a perfect night for football here at Ferris Stadium. 87 degrees and clear. The wind out of the east at 7 miles an hour. Again, a perfect night for football, and believe me, both of these programs ready to get started. The first game for both of them. When we come back, we've got our Thomas J. Henry keys to the game. It's Johnson and O'Connor on Thursday Night Lights. Welcome back to Ferris Stadium. Everybody having a great time so far, and we haven't even started yet. Right now, it's time for our Thomas J. Henry keys to the game. And Chuck, let's start with the new coach at Johnson, Mark Soto.
Well, they're going to change things up a little bit here this season, and they're going to want to get some big plays, and they're definitely not going to want to turn the ball over, and then they're definitely not going to want to be penalized heavily tonight. They want to be clean their first game out.
Coach Soto coaching his first game ever at Johnson.
There's an obvious amount of excitement around, and just the lead up to get to this week has been incredible. And you know, you can see it in the kids. You could see it this past weekend when we met with them, and that they're really, really excited about it.
I was hoping it wasn't me. And Chuck, how about the other squad?
Well, you know, the Johnson Jags, they want to be multiple on offense. They want to control the line of scrimmage and spread it around. And, you know, we saw the O'Connor guys, they want to get the big plays, no turnovers and no penalties. But, again, Don, this Johnson ball club is going to be a little bit different than what we've seen in the past, and I cannot wait to see what this looks like first time out.
All right, now let's hear from Coach Mark Soto.
Everybody's excited around here, one to play on TV, but one to play football. It's been a long haul through the summer trying to get all this stuff right, so that way we stay healthy. So it's going to be very exciting, probably pretty emotional for some parents up there that have, really worked to get their kids, to keep their kids healthy, and just for the whole community to come together. We always talk about it takes a village to raise a football team around here. Well, it takes a village to raise everybody here at Johnson High School.
Chuck and I have a lot of fun calling these games, but nobody has more fun than our Zach Hedrick, who's down on the sideline. Zach?
Don, Chuck, what's up, guys? Hey, another great night for football. Hey, I got in touch with Northeast Athletic Director Kelly Parker earlier today. Said, Coach, how's it going? He was excited. It was game day, and same with Northside ISD. They're excited to host here at the Dub tonight. Just another perfect night for football. Limited capacity, 50%, but still a lot of people here tonight, and I've seen a few members at the athletic department checking around, but they shouldn't have to be doing too much work tonight. Seems like everybody's following the rules, so it should be another great one tonight as we get ready for O'Connor and Johnson. Guys.
Thanks, Zach. You see the color guard. We're going to hear the national anthem, and we'll be back with kickoff right after this.
Closed captioning for today's game is sponsored by Texas Water Advisor.
Welcome back to Ferris Stadium. It's Johnson and O'Connor tonight. Let's hear our national anthem.
Now at midfield is the color guard from the 20,082nd Air Force Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps of Sandra Day O'Connor High School.
The members include the commander and bearing the United States flag, Cadet Major Marcus Breed. Bearing the Texas flag is Cadet First Lieutenant Nicholas McMaster. Bearing the Air Force flag is Cadet Major Julia Wade. Bearing the O'Connor Junior ROTC flag is Cadet Captain Matthew Lopez. The right guard is Cadet Captain Colin McCormick. The left guard is Cadet First Lieutenant Stephen Lopez. If you have not already done so, please rise and remove your hats as we honor America, along with the men and women who have served and are serving in our United States Armed Forces throughout the world. The national anthem for this evening's game will be performed by the Sandra Day O'Connor High School Panther Band under the direction of Alfonso Alvarado.
This is Taco Cabana Thursday Night Lights, presented by THOMASJHENRY and sponsored by Vulcan Materials Company, America's Diamond, the Children's Hospital of San Antonio, R&L Certified Auto Group, Air Serv Heating and Air Conditioning, Affordable Health Insurance Agency, Orange Theory Fitness, Air Today Heating and Air Conditioning, Guild Mortgage, San Antonio Sports, Methodist Healthcare, Plumbing Today, Texas Water Advisor, Beluga Air, Bargain Warehouse Outlet, JD Collision Express, Air Conditioning Service Company, the San Antonio International Airport, Centro Med, Mammoth Contracting, and Monarch Trophies.
All right, it is time to kick off the Mark Soto era here at Johnson High School, and he's going against a great one in David Molesky, who's built a consistent winner at O'Connor.
I think what's going to be really interesting, Don, is that obviously this is game one for both teams. No spring. The evaluation time has been pushed up and condensed. You know, usually Coach Molesky at O'Connor likes to have his squad pretty much set in the spring. Well, they just set their team basically a week ago. And then you've got Coach Soto coming in, first year at Johnson. He's going to change a few things. He jokingly said he's still trying to learn his kids' names. So we understand everybody's been under a really tight time frame, but I'm pretty sure both of these guys know how to coach and have coached in all types of situations. We're going to see a good one here tonight.
Ethan Jarman with our R&L Certified Auto Group kickoff, and Johnson will have the football first, and as we talked about at the top, they are led by Ty Reesner, their senior quarterback. He's an Air Force Academy commit. He was first team all-district in a very tough district a year ago, throwing for 23 touchdowns, running for 10 more, and throwing for over 2,000 yards.
Yeah, Coach Soto really gave a lot of credit to Ron Ritteman, who was at Johnson and now, of course, is the head coach / athletic director at Alamo Heights. He said he taught these kids so much about football that they are really like sponges and took all this new stuff really to heart and to mind.
So first down and 10 for the Jaguars, and he will fire on first down. He's got a man deep, but ball is incomplete, and that'll set up second down. Got rid of it in a hurry. As we take a look at our Taco Cabana starting lineups, Will Hunsinger leads that offensive line. He's an all-district performer. He's also a scholar athlete. Shane Johnson, the wide receiver to watch out for, and Matt Rodriguez and Cannon Fairley, both also very explosive. Keep it on the ground. On second down as a flag flies, and that's Ben McCreary. Very excited about that young man. He had 2 touchdowns in their scrimmages coming into this one.
Number 72, 1-yard penalty, second down.
They'll back it up. Pretty young O'Connor defense. Kyler Goodman, the linebacker, number 6, is a first-team all-district player. They're also led by their captain up front, Aaron Granillo.
So an early test for this explosive Johnson offense backed up here on second down.
Second down and 20 for Reesner. Might have been a little movement there, little bubble screen here. And it's completed. Nice pursuit by the O'Connor defense, as that one was completed to Cannon Fairley. And I'm telling you, Chuck, in pregame warning, Cannon Fairley looks like a college football player. That is one big kid.
That's redundant with both of these teams, right? I mean, I was telling you during the break, I was sitting in my car before the game and I watched a bunch of kids get off the bus. I saw all these big kids. I'm like, wow, man, O'Connor's big again. Then I saw some girls come off the bus too, and it's like, oh, that's the O'Connor band. Even the band is big at O'Connor.
3rd and 14. Fires to the outside, and it looked like Johnson broke off his route. That's incomplete, and good coverage on the play by O'Connor. Gio Waller there on the coverage, and Johnson goes 3 and out and has to kick the football.
Now you know that Coach Molesky's got to like that. He was really not sure exactly what he has, and I mean, have a start like that, strong tip of the cap to the O'Connor D.
Aiden Warnke back to receive the punt. And he's going to field it right at midfield of the fair catch. And O'Connor will have the football at the 49-yard line when they take over. Caleb Smith, their starting quarterback. They'll decline the penalty as you take a look at Tom McAfee and our officiating crew tonight. Still trying to figure it out. Coach Soto's asking some questions over there, the crew.
We're going to turn it over to Caleb this year. You know, he's been on the varsity for the last couple of years as a backup.
Looks like the hold was on O'Connor on the return. All right.
So Caleb's going to get his shot this year to run this very dynamic O'Connor offense.
Yep, he's got in a couple ball games a year ago. Had 9 attempts. And here comes O'Connor, led by what is traditionally a very large offensive line.
Yeah, and that's where they're really, really veteran too. So that's going to help because they lost a lot of skill during the offseason.
Quali Kendall, one of the guys to watch, as that one's almost picked off. Madison Thomas read it perfectly and just kicking himself that that wasn't a pick six.
Well, he did a really good thing on that. Actually did a lot of good things. First of all, he was in position to make the play, but he didn't catch it, but certainly did a good job of at least knocking it down and giving O'Connor no gain on the play.
Keep now for Smith. Gets back to about the line of scrimmage. Let's take a look at our Taco Cabana starting lineup. You saw Smith and Quali Kendall. They're going to be the threats. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ball, very young Johnson defense. They've got some senior returners, but young and experienced. Not a lot of returners that have played much snaps as varsity football players. Samuel Hall, captain back there. Option gets away the pitch, and the ball's on the ground but out of bounds. Kendall couldn't hang on to it. Johnson tried to recover it, but it went out of bounds, and so that'll set up 4th down.
One great defensive stand begets another. How about the Johnson defense swarming to the ball on that play? There was really nowhere to option the football. Bad things happened once the ball got loose, but O'Connor catches a little bit of a break. At least they're able to punt the ball away here on 4th down.
Josh Brown will punt it away. Back to receive for the Jaguars is Robert Ramirez. He's asking everybody to get away from it. He handles it cleanly and he's drilled right there at about the 26. Nice tackle by Ashton Capitano. It's scoreless. Johnson's going to get their second crack at it when we come back. Welcome back. Time for our plumbing today band cam. Our camera's out at the Johnson Pep Rally yesterday, and the Jaguars, man, they're excited about football season starting. Remember, this is the first game for the 6As. The smaller schools have been playing, but these bigger schools have had to navigate a lot. Virtual schooling, phasing in, everything else that everybody else has been dealing with too, and they're finally getting a chance to see the reward and get to play after all the sacrifices they've made with practices and all of that to try to get here. All right, so here's Reesner on 1st down, hands off, and a lot of room across the 40, across the 50 is Ben McCreary. I told you they loved him in the scrimmages, just a junior. He did have 32 carries a year ago as a sophomore and a touchdown, but they're very excited about what the future might bring for this young man.
Well, Coach Soto was saying that this young man went to a trainer this summer and he came back looking like a different kid. Pretty darn strong on that run for sure.
That's a Mammoth contracting 1st down as Reesner fires a bullet to the outside, and look out, breaking it into the red zone and across the 15 down to the 12-yard line is Cannon Fairley. Another big play by the big kid.
Number 88, just a junior, 6'3", and doing a really good job stretching the field for Johnson during their scrimmages. And as you can see, Ty Reesner's got plenty of targets outside and inside that he can go to and make some things happen.
So a 1st down inside the Central Med red zone as they hand it again. And look at the nice move, and scoring the touchdown is Ben McCreary. What a cutback. Johnson Johnson, just like that, marches it down the field and scores the first touchdown of the game.
Got a big play setting this up. And look at the patience and then look at the blocking. Great chipping out there, outside. Gets a little crease and man does the rest, getting 6.
Easton Wayne Watney on to attempt the extra point. Reisner with the hold, and it's right down the middle, and the Johnson Jaguars strike first. It's Johnson 7, O'Connor nothing here at Dub Ferris Stadium on a beautiful night for football.
Hey TNL fans, Taco Cabana is proud to be the title sponsor of Thursday Night Lights. Our Kick and Grande nachos go perfectly with any type of football game. Stop by any Taco Cabana and enjoy. Make plans now to visit TC after the game or this weekend. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Welcome back. Johnson Jaguars getting ready to kick off to the O'Connor Panthers. 3 plays, 73 yards. It took less than a minute. Creary scores on the 12-yard touchdown.
Now, I hope I got my stats right, Dom, and I was talking to Coach Soto this week. I'm pretty sure he told me that they scored 10 touchdowns in their first scrimmage and 7 in the second one. So, you know, again, they're veteran, they've got some weapons, and they're certainly looking the part here early in this football game.
Boy, are they. And the velocity off of the arm of Ty Reisner was apparent on that first out route. And that's why he's headed to the Air Force Academy. That and a lot of other reasons. Watney will kick it away. Aiden Warnke and Quali Kendall back to receive it. A little mishandled there by Warnke. He'll get on it in the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And so the O'Connor Panthers will have their second crack at it. Program we've talked about for a long time, Chuck. Just the consistency in which they win in a very, very tough district is very impressive. We talked about their offensive line, always very big, always very good, but you know, David Molesky, also one of those Judson kids that play with Frank Arnold and DW and all those guys, and they're so disciplined and they play with such passion, and they will hit you. They are a physical football team, and that program just is that way year in and year out. They want to throw it on first down, and do, and it's incomplete.
The Johnson defense doing a really good job of forcing the quarterback out of the pocket and forcing him to his right. I believe that was Alex Gonzalez who did a really good job forcing everything back here to the left.
Second down and 10. Inside handoff. That's Kendall. He picks up a few. That'll set up third down and about 6 or 7.
Quali had some playing time last year, and he didn't have a whole lot of room in which to navigate there. Did a really good job of picking up almost 5 yards on that run. There wasn't a whole lot there.
Scored 3 touchdowns last year as a junior. Got a few experienced Panthers on this offensive unit. As Smith takes a straight drop, pressured, brought down. Good job with the pressuring coming. We've been taking a look at the Johnson defense and Samuel Hall all night. He's calling the signals back there, and that time he brought the heat.
He sure did. He came off the right edge and basically came with nobody even near him and did a really good job of forcing the early throw.
So another 3 and out for O'Connor. High booming kick underneath it and fair caught at the 38, and Johnson will have it again. We'll see if Ty Reisner and company can put together one of those 3-play drives when we come back. It's Johnson 7, O'Connor zip. We're back back, and you're looking at Ty Reesner, the quarterback we've been talking about. And happy birthday, Ty Reesner. He's 18 today. And Chuck, there's another birthday boy somewhere close, right?
Yeah, B. Watts. I think his birthday was either a day or two ago, Monday. I just told in my ear. I thought I was hallucinating. I thought I wished him happy birthday, but I couldn't remember what day it was. Sorry, B. Watts.
Brian Watts in our ear from the truck. Best in the business. Happy birthday, Brian. Quick strike to the outside, incomplete. For his running back coming out of the backfield. Tell you what, if he misses, there's no chance at it because he's firing it 90 miles an hour.
He's got a heck of an arm, there's no question about it, but a really good job by Bryson Smith, the sophomore outside linebacker for the Panthers, stride for stride with the running back on that play.
Sets up 2nd down and 10. Handoff. McCreary gets to the outside, tripped up. Good pursuit by the O'Connor defense. Tackle made by Gavin Mack, the senior. That'll set up 3rd down and 4 for Johnson. You can tell McCreary may be a junior and inexperienced, but we've already seen him score once tonight, and you can see that they want to make him a big focus of their offense. Coming in, we were all talking about Shane Johnson, the all-district wide receiver, and Reesner, but they've got a star in this kid. Meanwhile, nice little play calls. They complete it to the outside, and that goes to Nick Cesares for Mammoth Contracting 1st down.
Yeah. Nick was doing a really good job on that play, finding the ears on the low throw, adjusting to the football, and then turning it upfield with authority. Really nice job pivoting on that play.
Mammoth Contracting 1st down again as they come in motion. And a little busted play there, and Reesner's going to keep it. You see his athleticism right there as he breaks it, breaks another, coming to the outside, and he's tripped up. But what a play by Ty Reesner. That one was going nowhere. It was bust from the beginning. Greg Chavez getting over there to run him down, and good speed from the senior linebacker from O'Connor. But
so we got a stoppage of the play here, stoppage in time I should say, but Ty Reesner, look at him, spinning, rumbling, stumbling, and a little okey doke, little junk in his game, popping it outside, and a really nice pickup on 1st down.
And they'll take a breather here to take a little water break while they wait. Meanwhile, it's time for a Beluga Air player profile. And that's Kyler Goodman, 1st team all-district linebacker. You've seen him before. If he looks familiar, it's because he's taken that one to the house on TNL a year ago.
Yeah, Kyler Goodman, interesting story, Don. He played linebacker last year. They moved him back to safety this season. They really feel like he was playing outside, so he could really only get to one part of the field, but they really like his ability to ball hawk and also his speed, and they really feel like he's more natural at safety, and they feel like at that position he's going to be able to defend more of the field than he would be if he was an outside linebacker. But, you know, clearly just one of those guys that's a great football player. You could stick him anywhere and he'd make an impact.
He's made an impact before, and we'll see what he does tonight.
He started 11 ball games last year at linebacker, and again, he started his career at O'Connor as a safety, and you could see by the way the kid's stacked there, you could probably put him on the D-line too, and he'd make a play or two for you there as well.
These extended timeouts, not the television timeouts, but on the timeouts called by Johnson, are 2 minutes long now because of the UIL new rule because of COVID-19. Everybody has to have separate water. And so they've extended the timeouts to 2 minutes, and all in, you know, a precautionary measure. But we're back to action here as Reesner hands it again to McCreary. Watch out. He cuts it inside to the 10. McCreary taking tacklers all the way inside the 5 to the 3-yard line. Ben McCreary getting it done tonight.
Well, you can tell that O'Connor is really concerned about a lot of things. And I mean, right now, they're just getting gashed by the running game. And I mean, it's worked to perfection so far for Coach Soto and the Johnson Jags.
O'Connor wants to take a timeout now, as Johnson has moved inside the Central Mid red zone. And we're back in 15 seconds.
San Antonio International is the first and only airport to use the Light Strike robot, which is proven to destroy hard-to-kill viruses, to include the virus that causes COVID-19, providing the highest level of cleanliness so you can fly easier, fly safer, and fly confident.
Chuck, looks like the O'Connor coaching staff a little concerned about what you were just talking about, the giving up the runs. Gash is a good way to call it so early, 7-10 yards a pop.
Well, if it's one thing I think that would drive Coach Molesky crazy is the fact that he doesn't like to see his boys getting pushed around here early on. And I'll tell you what, the defensive coaches on the O'Connor sideline are really, really going at it right now. And of course, there's Big Dave leading the charge.
You got to love David Molesky. This guy is all business, very intense. Nobody loves kids more. As we take a look at our Guild Mortgage Smile Cam, I'm not sure if that's a Jaguar or a Panther, but he's socially distanced and he's wearing his face shield, so he's doing it right.
Suited up, looking good.
All the fans here encouraged to wear their mask except when consuming food or beverage. And
everybody's doing a really nice job.
She's enjoying that.
In here tonight.
Really good crowd. People anxious to see some football, and Stan Lang and Northside did a great job of setting up the stands. It's every other row, and then seats are also sectioned off 6 feet apart, so you can sit with your crew. It's a Mammoth Contracting first down as the Johnson Jaguars are knocking on the door again. At the 3-yard line. First and goal for Reesner. Give it to McCreary. He got him down there. He's fighting for the end zone. And did he get it across? Wow. He did. Touchdown Jaguars. A nice second effort to extend the ball right to the line, and the official was right there.
O'Connor doing a really good job of getting people to the football that time, but 28's just equal to the task. I mean, that's just individual effort. Gets the ball, checks inside, not there. It's really not there outside either, but lunging. And the referees say 6 points more on the board.
Very impressive awareness from a high school kid as Watney comes on to kick the extra point, and that one is just as true as his first. It's 14-0 Johnson Jaguars. Got to be impressed with this young Ben McCreary. His vision is fantastic, and his lateral cuts have been, doesn't seem to have an incredibly explosive burst after the cut, but I'm telling you, he's tough and he's smart, and his vision's unbelievable.
Well, I just think it's going to be a really interesting season for this Johnson Ball Club. Again, you know, they're going to change some things up. Obviously, with a new coach, you would expect that. And, you know, this may be the squad to beat in the Northeast District. With this young man, this quarterback, these explosive players that they have on the outside, and Coach Soto, obviously, no stranger to winning programs.
7 years at San Marcos, he built a winner there. After, of course, as we talked about earlier, like David Molesky, played at that legendary Judson program. He was on that 90 team with Darnell Stevens, who played in the NFL, Clemson, and then into the NFL. Robert Reed was on that team. That was a very good Judson Rocket football team. Kick is away. That one's handled and right down the sideline. Nice return, and a very speedy return from O'Connor's Quali Kendall.
Quali running with a purpose, but the Johnson cover team doing a really good job there too. David Benavides and a couple other guys down there to make the stop.
That'll bring out Caleb Smith. And the O'Connor offense, they've struggled so far, a couple of 3 and outs. Down 14-0, going to try to get on the board here. They'll hand it to Kendall. He gets to the outside, spins, and nice gain on first down. That's what you want to do when you move the chains. You want a good 5 or 6 yards on first down, and Kendall did a nice job of seeing the outside and bouncing it to the outside.
Yeah, and running with a purpose, just like he did on the kick return. Little shimmy shake there down the sideline, but running with a purpose. And, you know, don't go to sleep on this young guy coming out of the backfield either. He's a very capable receiver as well.
2nd and 1. They'll give it to him again, and he almost popped it. The Johnson linebackers closed the gap quickly, but you can see his explosiveness. Darren Benavidez and Tyson Escamilla there.
Yeah, Broke, Sills, Rogolinski, all the big boys up front for O'Connor carving up a really nice hole on that particular run.
That's a Mammoth contracting first down as they get near midfield. Here's Smith again. And Kendall's feeling it, so they hand it to him again, this time on first down, but gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe gains a yard, as I think Johnson realizes that Kendall's the go-to guy right now. Sam Hall making the tackle.
Sam Hall's been all over the field tonight. Sniffed that one out too and was able to stick a hat on the ball carrier and stop that one for a minimal gain.
We've seen shots of him calling the signals there. He's the defensive leader of our Beluga Air player profile. Goes both ways, 6 foot 182. Smith wants to fire and completes it. Chuck, you called it. Talking about, oh, I thought that was Kendall. Instead, that's completed to Warnke.
Caleb doing a really nice job on that one. He had to wait for his receiver to get to his spot. Kind of double pumped it, but kept his feet in a good position. Threw a rifle shot out there on the flat, and here we go, 3rd down and about 4.
If O'Connor wants to move the chains and move the football, big play here, their best field position. They are finally getting into a little bit of a rhythm offensively. They want to keep this drive alive. 3rd and 5, under 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Warnke comes in motion. Smith fires to the outside and completed it. Nice concentration hanging on to the football is Marshall Moody, the senior.
Caleb Smith with a bazooka shot. And it's got to come out hot because Johnson's coming. Throws a missile with a guy in his face and right on target.
Nice job of hanging on to it after the big hit. And that's another Mammoth contracting first down as the Panthers move inside Johnson territory. 4:38 in the first. Smith takes a snap, hands to Kendall. He has a couple of really nice moves back and forth to find a seam and pick up about 7.
He got Fred Astaire feet. I mean, just really, really good at sticking it in the ground and getting upfield, and great vision and everything else you can think of. Just a fantastic run right there, and O'Connor doing a really nice job. Obviously, you're down 14. You got to have something on offense, right? You got to come down and you got to force the issue. You got to find a way to put some points on the board and get yourself back in this football game, and they're answering the bell quite nicely.
And a nice job by the offensive coordinator mixing up the plays and the rhythm. Sweep coming this way. Kendall may have been horse-collared, no flag. And now we've got extracurriculars going on after, and still no flag. Was he still up?
He may have been. I didn't hear the whistle till after the second takedown, but yeah, I don't know if everybody on the Johnson sideline or even the referees thought that he may not have been down. Let's find out. Spin.
Came down on top of a player.
Oh,
he's
look at
still
that.
and because he's still on his feet and there's no whistle,
yeah, so
that's why Hall was able to do that with no penalty, as Warnke comes on what looked like a jet sweep, but now we've got early motion.
Offense, 5-yard penalty.
And that'll be a false start against O'Connor, so that'll back him up.
Yeah, that's a killer too. You got 3rd and short, you know, you're probably in 2-down territory, and now you got 3rd and long behind the sticks. But again, you know, can you imagine no spring ball, you got a bunch of new players, and you're still in the evaluation process, and I mean, you're gonna have some of these penalties tonight, I'm telling you.
They're still figuring out how to say their names like we are. Smith fires to the outside, caught. A rifle of a pass to John Locke. We talked about him in the pregame, but there's a flag down.
Flag on the flag.
75 and 7 of the offense. 15-yard penalty.
And that's just a killer, a chop block, personal foul call on the O'Connor offensive line with 2 of the members of the offensive line, and that's a you can see 67 holding him up, and Kendall went low. And you cannot do that, and that's a drive killer right there.
Well, it certainly backs him up, that's for sure. I mean, it is 3rd and 23 now, and I don't know how many plays you got in your playbook if you're the offensive coordinator for O'Connor.
Smith gonna look over the middle, fires, completes it to Kendall, but Johnson's defense is there, and they'll stop him short after a gain of about 15. He needed 23, and so that'll set up 4th down, and we'll see what David Molesky decides to do.
Looks like David Molesky's going to go for it here, and I can't blame him. That was a really good chunk that they picked up there on 3rd down. And a good job by the Johnson linebacking crew to keep everything in front of them. You know, you certainly don't want to let anybody get behind you and get the sticks. Now they're going to have to play a little tighter here on 4th down.
4th and 7, 3 to the left, 1 to the right for Smith. 2:10 left in the first, looking left all the way, completes it, but not gonna get there. Doing a great job in coverage to come up from his linebacking spot is Justin Kirk, the senior.
Yeah, great job of tackling, but again, it all starts with Sam Hall's pressure on the quarterback. He forced Caleb into a situation where he had to get rid of the ball a lot quicker than he probably wanted to. Sam Hall's pressure really was remarkable on that play, and a reason why the Johnson defense is getting off the field and getting it back to their offense in pretty good shape here field position wise.
All right, so the Johnson Jaguars will take over again. They lead it 14-0 with 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Still haven't seen much from Shane Johnson, the wide receiver at the bottom of your screen, number 3. He is a favorite target of Reasoner, and he is due. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go to him at some point here early. Reasoner, pump and go, and Johnson was held up. Good coverage there by the O'Connor defense.
Yeah, it was a good job outside covering, but Reek Chavez too doing a really good job getting pressure. And again, Ty didn't want to get rid of that ball as quick as he had to there. And once there was pressure in his face, he just felt like he had to get rid of the ball a lot quicker than he wanted to. See that?
And you can see him.
Receiver was jammed.
Yep. Pump and go, and you couldn't go because he was being held up. And David Molesky wanted a timeout so badly he ended up on the field. Hey, you know, one of the high schools seen on TNL this year will win a $5,000 band grant. It's all based on votes. It's the Children's Hospital of San Antonio $5,000 band grant. So text band 3 to 44332 for Johnson, or band 4 to 44332 for O'Connor. The $5,000 band grant made possible by the Children's Hospital of San Antonio. You're here back with us again this year. It's a great program, and we're glad to see it. And how about the band? Johnson Band's sponsored.
You gotta like that. You'll get me Rudy Tooty fresh and fruity, brother. We have to do that after the ball game tonight.
Both these schools have incredible bands. The numbers of kids that play in these 6A school marching bands are amazing, and these are two of the best.
This has been a fun first quarter so far as we wind it down. Seen some nice plays, and again, you know, a lot of what you're going to see tonight really on both teams is there's going to be heavy evaluation. I mean, Molesky was talking about, you know, normally this time of year you've got your team set, you think you know what you have, and then he said, yeah, after our last scrimmage we changed some things around. So it's going to be interesting, and I think that's the cool thing about this, Don, is that, you know, both teams are playing a quality opponent tonight. You really will find out quickly exactly where you are, and hopefully be able to look at your tape from your first game and get you ready for league play.
Yeah, and it's cleaner than we thought. I mean, this is basically a scrimmage for these guys. I mean, consider the practice time they've had. Reasoner fires incomplete to the outside. Coverage by the O'Connor D.
Now we'll see what Johnson has on 3rd and long.
Gavin Mack's been all over the field tonight. 3rd and 10. No time left off the clock there. The incompletion. Mark Soto readjusts his mask. You know, Mark Soto got COVID-19 right after he was hired at Johnson, and that put him even further behind. There was a 14-day quarantine for him. He was just trying to meet his kids on Zoom.
False start.
As there's a penalty on Johnson. So it's hard enough taking over a new program. Going somewhere where, you know, you just want to meet the kids, you want to meet their families, you want to kind of get a feel for the culture and install your philosophy, your offense. You can't really do much of it because your only way to meet with these kids is on Zoom. And then once they are able to, he got COVID-19 and had a 14-day quarantine, putting him only even further behind. So a lot of challenges for a guy in a brand new program. 3rd and 15, Reasoner fires it quick over the middle, and a good job of staying at home right there in the middle by the O'Connor D, and they'll be short of the marker. Laying a lick too. Zachary Martinez.
Obviously, penalties hurting both teams here on the last 2 drives. O'Connor's starting to ratchet it up just a little bit on defense. So, you know, that's got to make Coach Molesky happy.
Yeah, you're seeing more intensity from O'Connor here in the latter part of the first quarter. Warnke's their kicker and punter. He barely got that one away, but a pretty good effort considering the pressure he was under, and he rolls it across midfield down to about the 35, 36-yard line.
Yeah, strong tip of the cap, just corralling the ball on the high snap. I mean, that could have been disaster.
I don't know how we're going to top last week on the opener, Chuck, but we got some great games on the schedule this year. We're calling it our best ever. We got Medina Valley and Veterans Memorial, Steele and East Central. Next week we're doing back-to-back games Thursday and Friday. And look at this, we got Judson taking on Clemens, a rival. The Gucci Bowl, one of the best rivalries in town. New Braunfels and Wagner. On down the line, Heights and Bernie Champions, a great rivalry. Smithson Valley at Judson late in the season. So it's going to be fun.
Always is.
I don't know if it's going to come down to a 2-point conversion with no time on the clock, but boy, if last week's any indication of what we have ahead, I'm looking forward to it. Kendall on the carry, picking up about 5. That's up 2nd down.
Connor starting to assert itself with that big offensive line.
I would think they're the kind that can wear you down the later and later you play on. 2nd and 5. Smith fires. Warnke's got it. Across the 45. Nice one-legged tackle there by the Johnson defense.
It's Reed Watt out there on the outside and did a really good job keeping the receiver in front of him. He doesn't make that play, and that thing's going a lot further than it did. Now, 2 shots here to pick up half a yard.
3rd and short for Caleb Smith, and there's a timeout on the field. That's the end of the quarter. That's it. 14-0 Johnson after one. We're coming back with O'Connor with a crucial play as we start the second quarter on Thursday Night Lights. Welcome back. Time for our Air Serve Heating and Air Conditioning first quarter highlights. I'll tell you what, it has been a one-man show offensively getting to pay dirt for the Johnson Jaguars. Ben McCreary, the junior running back, really shining tonight. As our crew is always doing a great job. Look at that shot. See the stats, 88 yards rushing. McCreary with most of those.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about how multiple that Johnson was going to be this year, but when you can run the ball for 88 yards in the first quarter, there's not a whole reason to be putting it up in the air.
If you're just joining us, it's the start of the second quarter. 3rd and 1 conversion time for O'Connor. They hand it to Kendall. He's got the first down and much more across the 50 and inside Johnson territory down to about the 47-yard line. And I like the burst of speed from Quali Kendall.
Oh, I'm telling you, it was like, ooh-wee, like a water bug. Kind of zipping through and not a whole lot of resistance there trying to get him down. I mean, he looks like the fastest guy on the field on that run.
That's a South Texas Vocational Technical Institute first down. Smith wants to go deep. Fires, single coverage.
Oh,
Locke's
yeah.
got it. What a catch. Locke, touchdown, O'Connor. He will not be stopped.
Wow, what a play.
You talked about him, partner, in the pregame, John Locke, and the physicality and the strength, not to mention the extension to make the grab.
All right, first of all, it starts up front. Absolutely clean a pocket as you're ever going to see, and then what a dime throw, and then no doubt. I mean, how do you finish off a run like that, dragging a guy into the end zone?
The extra point is up and good, and O'Connor is on the board. It's 14-7, and we got a football game at Ferris Stadium.
You're watching Taco Cabana Thursday Night Lights, presented by Thomas J. Henry.
We're early in the second quarter here at Ferris Stadium, the first game for the 6A schools. Johnson over O'Connor, 14-7. Big John Locke, the big-time touchdown, a 47-yard touchdown reception, capping off a 4-play drive.
To tell you what kind of athlete this guy is, I mean, you just saw it on one play, but he's actually the O'Connor backup quarterback too. So, I mean, this guy can do just about everything.
I believe it. What a physical specimen. We saw him early when we profiled him right off the top, and you can just see he's not only tall, but he's well put together and strong as an ox. As you saw, that tackle was looked like a young kid trying to bring down dad in a flag football game in the backyard. Just strength. O'Connor did their best effort to try to keep that football in bounds. It goes out of bounds, flag flies, and Johnson will have good field position here.
Yeah, you can tell that was a play they'd been working on. I mean, that was dangerously close to getting yourself the ball back. Johnson's going to be on the lookout for that the next time.
Penalties on O'Connor. Johnson's not going to take that. They're going to decline it and accept the yardage here.
Well, you didn't expect O'Connor to stay down for long. I mean, just too well coached, too many good players, and that was a nice bounce back. Not a whole lot have gone their way so far tonight, but starting to pick up some momentum on offense. You could see it. They got the drive before, kind of got wompy-jawed when they had a couple of penalties, but looked really good on that last drive, finishing it off, and now here they are trying to get a stop on defense to get the ball back and see if they can find a way to claw even closer.
It'll make them kick it again, I think. So we'll rewind it and do it all over again. Ethan Jarman kick it away for O'Connor.
And you can see the Johnson coaching staff trying to coach up their special teams right there just to make sure. You know, you got to be very cognizant of the fact that that play could very well come again, and you got to go get the football.
Shane Johnson and Joseph Gatica back. That one going to Gatica. Takes it and may have stepped out of bounds right at the 20. No whistle. And he gets back to about the 22. Thought his left foot may have been on the line, but about the same spot anyway. As the O'Connor special teams unit gets down there. Ashton Capitano.
Look at that. Good field awareness. Look, he's in bounds.
He is by a sliver, man. And you know what? Mad props to these officials. The ones last week, there were so many close calls, including the game winner. You got to get that right. There's no replay in high school football.
And they got them all right.
They got them all right last week, and they were some tough calls.
Yeah, I was talking to a couple of officials before the game, and a lot of them worked at least one game up to tonight. But obviously, when you're playing these 6A guys at the level that they can play at, you know, it's a workout for everybody getting back on the field, right?
Absolutely. Nice slant catch and gain by Kanan Fairley. Junior just transferred in to Johnson. To South Texas Votech first down. Reesner fires to the outside again, the other side.
And Fairley just a junior, but mercy, got some big old boys on that Johnson team outside too.
Matt Rodriguez on the catch there. Kyler Goodman in on the tackle, along with Zachary Martinez. Zachary Martinez having his name called a lot tonight for the O'Connor defense. Reesner fires again. That's caught. That's Johnson. And Johnson's a big-time football player. He dives for the marker. Not sure if they're going to give him the first down or not, but the official says move the chains, and they do.
I was talking to Coach Soto this week, and we asked him about Shane Johnson. He said, all day long and twice on Sunday. That's the guy we're going to be looking for outside a lot.
Basketball as well. He's one of our Beluga Air profiles. D1 offers in football and basketball. He's the best player in the district in hoops. And you can see he's the entire package athletically.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that, first of all, understands the game really well. He can get you over the top stuff when you need it. Also, obviously, with his size, he can jump up and go get it. Just a really good receiver in terms of reading the defense, finding ways to get open, and then really good hands on top of it.
Just looking at some film on him from last year. So many catches just right over the top of the defender. Fires to the outside. That's completed for another first down. Another South Texas Votech first down. That one's completed to Blair Blount, fullback. He played last year, had a touchdown as a junior. Carried it 34 times for 150 yards.
Now they're going to go find somebody else to throw the football to. I mean, really, Ty Reesner's got holding all the cards back there at QB.
Hands inside. No, fires to the outside. That's Johnson. Johnson carrying tacklers with him down inside the red zone, out of bounds, inside the 15. I bought the fake.
Well, everybody did. Look at this guy's spin move over here on the outside. I mean, he's up the field, and you got to get multiple guys on him if you want to ride him out of bounds.
Inside the Centro Med red zone. Reesner now hands inside. I believe that was Blunt. Picks up a couple. 41's a good fullback number. I like that.
Oh, man. They just got a little bit of everything here. just it looks like, you know, O'Connor's starting to snuff out that run a little bit. Coach Soto and Ty Reesner are going to go outside and start finding receivers.
2nd down and 6, knocking on the door. Reesner. It's a direct snap. It goes to Matt Rodriguez, and he's still taking tacklers down right near the 5-yard line. Of course, his brother Justin was a star at Johnson High School. I believe Justin wore the same number.
Oh, look at this. This is just a man-sized run right here. I mean, what you got? Bam! Still going.
Matthew did not want to be brought down. 3rd and 1 inside the 7, and I'm not sure he got there. In fact, it's going to set up a 4th down. Good defense and pursuit up front by the big guys from O'Connor.
Yeah, Kyler
Granillo.
Yeah, and Kyler Goodman too in on that.
Goodman's a first-team all-district performer from a year ago as a junior. He wears number 6. Granillo 56, and they clogged the line right there, setting up 4th and 1 for Mark Soto. He's thinking about what he wants to do. We're down to 9 on the play clock. He may just burn a timeout here, let it tick all the way down.
Yeah, I think by the time they decided that they were going to do what they wanted to do, there was way too much time had run off the play clock, so he just decided discretion is the better part of valor. Let's do it after timeout.
And we'll take it with him when we come back. It'll be 4th and 1 for Mark Soto and the Johnson Jaguars. Welcome back to Ferris Stadium. We've got 7:57 left in the second here. A battle of San Antonio area heavyweights, O'Connor and Johnson. Good football game so far. Johnson's got 4th and 1 on the 6-yard line of O'Connor. And Coach Mark Soto in his first game as coach of the Johnson Jaguars sends the offense out there to try and convert it. Ty Reesner. He's got Matt Rodriguez in the backfield with him. He'll hand it to Rodriguez, who's got the 1st down, and he fights into the end zone for a touchdown. Why not? On 4th and down to Rodriguez, we saw what he did earlier when he wouldn't be stopped, and that time he just put his head down and got the 6.
A lot of room inside, you would think, but look at that. They got some guys pulling outside and then back inside and finishing it off strong for 6.
Matthew Rodriguez running with a purpose. 5'7", 175-pound senior is Easton Watney on to kick the PAT. His 3rd of the night is good, and Johnson makes it a 2-touchdown lead again as you check out the replay.
Just a great job all the way around by the guys up front, and then again getting some help on the blocking side from Nicholas Casares, the tight end, pulling on that. It's a well-designed play on 4th down.
And we're back in 15 seconds.
San Antonio International is the first and only airport to use the Light Strike robot, which is proven to destroy hard-to-kill viruses, to include the virus that causes COVID-19, providing the highest level of cleanliness so you can fly easier, fly safer, and fly confident.
Chuck, I was reminded of you on that play. You know why? It was like the great Vince Lombardi of your Packers. Check it out. You get a seal here.
You get a seal there.
And you get a seal there. And you run it in the alley. That's exactly what he did. 24 coming across in motion, gets the seal to the outside. Right there. And you run it in the alley.
Well, it's interesting. We talked about how multiple Johnson was going to be right, and they're going to have some new tricks this year, and then sometimes it goes back to basics. You just hand the ball off, get some blocking, and get yourself 6 points.
Block and tackle. Not a fan, by the way, of Vince Lombardi and the Packers, but, you know, that was a tribute to
How can you not be a fan of Vince Lombardi and the Packers?
Ice Bowl, baby.
Oh, you can't hold a grudge that long, bro.
I wasn't alive. I don't remember it, but I've seen the video. I may have been 2.
My grandfather was at that game.
Wow, that doesn't surprise me. Botany across the 25,
Hello.
ball's out. O'Connor picked it back up. Hey, it's time for our Orange Theory Fitness Band Cam. We've taken a look at the bands already a couple times tonight. They're having a good time, socially distanced, wearing their masks and filling the void with some good tunes here early in the game.
Well, hats off to Marshall Moody, who never quit on that play. I mean, you got to find the football at some point. And number 5, Marshall Moody, really saving the bacon of the O'Connor Panthers right there. That would have been disastrous after just giving up 7 points.
Big opportunity here for O'Connor to try and stay in the ball game. Smith fires to the outside and pick up a couple. Yeah, as much as you like cold weather, it surprises me not that your grandfather was at the ice.
Well, I don't know that I would want to be at 15 below.
You'd be fine. You'd be fine. Everybody else would be near death. You'd have no shirt sleeves on.
See, Don, that last play right there, they're going to be running that like clockwork, 2 or 3 weeks from now. But that's a rhythm-based play, and when the throw is low, it's hard to turn it upfield. But that's going to be a humming play here in a couple of weeks.
Smith wants to go over the middle, throws it check down.
Nice.
To Kendall. Another physical tackle by Hall. He's going to move the sticks for a South Texas Votech first down.
You want to get a picture of both of those two guys on the same play because, man, they're both outstanding football players. Qualley doing an outstanding job there, getting to the football and then knowing exactly where he needed to go in order to get a fresh set.
6:44, O'Connor moving the sticks, trying to stay in this football game, down 2 touchdowns. He handed again. Kendall, quick feet and the burst again. We've seen it all night from him. Ability to go laterally to find a space and then explode.
Yeah, the functional speed is just exquisite. Look at this. Going right. Oh, that's just hard to stop. I mean, tip your cap.
Looks effortless from his perspective, and if you're trying to tackle it, you can't keep up with it.
Yeah, 0 to 60 in no time flat.
Another South Texas Votech first down. Why not give it to him again? He's dragging tacklers with him. Another huge gain on first down. All you can eat. Another 7 or 8 yards there.
On the carry.
O'Connor doing a good job too of chipping away at the clock. I mean, ideally you want to go right down the field, get yourself obviously into a 1-score game, but if you can, chip away at that clock. Don't give Johnson any time to then get the ball back before the half. You get those double-doubles that your boy McCarthy likes in Dallas.
He's getting some help from that big offensive line. The seal there, Kendall across the 30. All the way down inside the 25-yard line, and look at the block that freed him.
That's a gaping hole. And then, wow, he took a massive shot there at the end of that play. Darren Benavides laying in the wood, but 7's up. Act like nothing there.
Paul Schnoblin and Jack Rogolinsky. We talked about the size of that offensive line. You're looking at 75 Schnoblin. And as we reset here and Soto tries to fire up his defense, we had a chance to talk to San Antonio Sports about the Beyond the Game program.
Well, Thursday Night Lights is, a great opportunity to reach and motivate our high school athletes, their families, coaches, etc. We've tried to do that with the Beyond the Game program. Sinclair Broadcast Group and Methodist Healthcare have been great partners. And, the program really encourages high school and middle school teams to submit narratives and pictures and videos of things that they are doing to reflect key character traits, respect, selfless service. Those types of things with community service tend to feed on each other. So we started 4 years ago with 20 high schools submitting, and last year we had over 70. And so we're anticipating a lot more this year. It keeps growing, but it really sets the tone for the coaches, parents, and players to do things beyond what they do on the field or the court.
We've been partners in this program for a couple years now, and at Methodist Healthcare, our mission is serving humanity to honor God. And we think that getting our student athletes and our school districts involved in community outreach programs is a great way of living that message and really instilling that kind of thought process and behavior within the high school and middle school audience. So it's just a great program, and we're inspired by what the work the kids are doing in the communities.
We love the Beyond the Game program. About what a difference it's made in San Antonio with all of these participating high school and middle school athletic teams giving to community service. It's been fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, the focus that everybody's brought to this is just absolutely off the charts. I mean, really, really cool deal.
First down and 10. Smith, straight drop, goes deep. Nice out route, good coverage. The ball went up in the air and had a chance to be picked, but just one-on-one. And Reed Wyatt, the senior, was covering like a blanket.
Nothing wrong with Caleb's arm, as you can see. I mean, that was a missile.
That's to John Locke, the young man who scored earlier. Big-time player.
Yeah, pretty good coverage out there, no doubt.
That sets up 2nd and 10 at the 23, 4:55 to go. Smith will hand it. New ball carrier here. And that goes to Cole Trevino, the senior running back. His first carry of the season.
Pretty nice run. Shaking off any rust right there.
Runs with purpose, that's for sure. Inside the Central Med red zone. And gets him knocking on the door here with a 3rd and 1 conversion opportunity. I'm sure 2-down territory here for the Panthers. And they'll keep Trevino in. One to snap it, and they did not get it off.
They got it off. I think they blew the play dead. There was a false start.
It was right at the gun, and there was a false start. They were trying to beat the clock, and somebody jumped. Kendall will come in to replace Trevino, so he's back in there.
After the penalty, it will be O'Connor possession.
And after the penalty, it'll be 3rd and 6.
From the Johnson 20-yard line.
O'Connor switches out personnel packages. They send Warnke to the left in the slot. Kendall's in the backfield along with Smith. And here we go. Big possession for the Panthers. Smith fires over the middle. Intercepted. Reading it perfectly. The Johnson defense is still on his feet. Look out. Down the sidelines. Across the 50. A huge play by the Johnson defense.
Parker Meza.
What a play. He's just sat there, Chuck, and waited it on a zone read and just jumped it perfectly.
Oh, what a huge turn of events here in this football game. Parker Meza really doing a good job reading the eyes of the quarterback and just steps in front of it, and then as good as the interception was, they want to think about giving this kid some time at running back. Look at this dude, he's a load.
He looks like a fullback.
No doubt.
That's a fantastic play. The catch, you know, reading it, not all that difficult. You're looking right at the quarterback, but making the catch.
Yeah, we're going to have to get on Coach Soto, too. He talked about his linebackers being undersized. There's nothing undersized about the young man that we just saw.
Well, he doesn't know him yet.
Yeah, what he said, he had 20 meetings with his kids
days. Yeah.
Before he actually got to see him on a football field, and that's it.
Yeah, he told me Canaan was Cannon. Another quick out, and Johnson wants to move the football quickly. They've got 3:31 left. Matthew Rodriguez has scored the last touchdown with the catch.
Yeah, plenty of time here. shade over 3 minutes left, so you know, same thing applies here for the Johnson Jags. Get you a touchdown if that's what you can do, but also try to chip away at that 3 minutes.
South Texas Votech first down. And look at the velocity on the throw from Ty Reasoner. If you don't catch it, it might hurt you.
Might hurt you anyway.
Check out our air conditioning service company Smile Cam. The O'Connor cheerleaders, trust me, they're smiling. We can tell. You can tell by the eyes, right?
Absolutely.
Some fancy masks too. Nice. 2nd and 10. Rodriguez comes in motion. They hand it to him. And he picks up about 5. O'Connor's defense has really picked up the intensity. Something tells me we're going to have a good football game in the second half.
That's what I'm talking about. Shane Johnson, we talked about for everything that he can do outside catching the football. He can throw a block for you too. Check him out. Hello. He took some of that too, though. Oh, that's what we call good, clean high school 6A football right there.
That's a JD Collision Express Collision of the Game nominee.
Love it.
That's where you're the Hyundai and you want to take on the F-150 and then you decide maybe you didn't. Shane Johnson, top of your screen. Reasoner
for the squad.
Looking his way, fires it, ball's picked off. Tip drill.
Look out. Oh, man.
There is some hitting going on. Woo! How about a couple of 2 collisions of the game nominees? Will Huntsinger, the tackle for the Johnson Jaguars, turned into his own linebacking spot after the pick.
Oh, look at Walter with a nice play there. Boy, did he take a shot. He went right for the sideline, but Gio Waller, what a nice play. Kept his eyes on the ball on the tip. Man, I thought that was going to go to the house, but 68 came out of nowhere to lay the wood.
Will Huntsinger can move for a big fella.
Man, you ain't kidding.
Look out. Talk about Mack Trucks. First team All-District a year ago. He's 6'4", 275.
Wants to go to West Point. They'll be liking that up there.
He's our scholar athlete as well. We'll meet him at halftime. 6'4", 275, and he was moving.
Dad's in the military too, so my kind of guy. Keeping it in the family. Gotta like that.
2:02 left. Johnson up 21-7. Real opportunity here for O'Connor after that interception.
Well, that was a game saver by Gio Waller. I mean, we cannot underplay the fact that, you know, you had a red zone turnover, one begets the other, and boy, that kept O'Connor in this football game.
2nd down and 10. Smith being blitzed. Got to set up a middle screen. And nice yardage for a first down. Let's go down to Zach on the sideline. Zach?
Guys, I was maybe about 10, 15 yards away from that Huntsinger hit, and even I felt it on the sideline. I mean, that's how hard it was.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I bet you $5 it didn't mess up Zach's hair, though.
Tick-tock, 1:48 to go. Smith, lots of time. Running for his life now. Gets to the outside. He's going to do the smart thing and get out of bounds and stopping the clock with 1:36 to go.
Just a heady play, though, right? I mean, pockets collapsing. He knows exactly where he is on the football field. Felt the pressure from behind. Eyes were downfield the entire time. There was just nothing there. So, you know, scoot it, get you half of those sticks, get out of bounds, stop the clock, and really nice play all the way around there, young man.
Don't go away. The America's Diamond halftime show coming up. Scholar athlete and a lot more. Smith all day to throw. Fires to the outside to Locke. Locke is a great athlete. He gets out of bounds. That'll move the chains. Another South Texas Votech first down. And better yet, they stopped the clock with 1:28.
Snowbellin, Rogalinski, Sills, Brodt, Navarrillo. Man, those guys are making some really nice throwing lanes for their quarterback.
First down, incomplete. Trying to get it out quickly, get something. happening fast. 124, set up 2nd and 10 for David Molesky as you take a look at the coach. Built quite a winner there at O'Connor. His dad, of course, Gary Molesky, very famous career. Holmes High School, coached the Cash Twins. Johnny Walker and company. And Johnson will take a timeout. They want to talk about it here on 2nd and 10 with 124. Big games of college football, boys. Glad to see college football back. Texas Longhorns pulled off a miracle in Lubbock. They'll take on TCU at 11 on Fox to bring you Big 12 action. We've got the Cowboys and Browns on Fox. High noon on Sunday as well. Baker Mayfield squad's 2-1, and then on Sunday Night Football we've got the Eagles and Niners. And boy, the Niners, after going to the Super Bowl, they got nobody left.
Yeah, I had a lot of injuries there in week 2, but I'll tell you what, Don, this might be make or break for the Cowboys. They got 3 straight games at home, and if they don't figure out a way to clean some stuff up, they're really going to put themselves behind the 8 ball. Especially heading down the stretch. They have got to get better, stronger, faster, everything that you need. They need to tighten it up. And I know we talked about this today. You know, they got the #1 offense in football, but their defense is 7 from the bottom. So, but you can't turn it over 3 times like they did last week. You can't have 10 turnovers. They got to figure some stuff out. And I know they're dealing with this stuff at the pro level too. With the, you got a new coach, new system, all that stuff, and
a lot of miscommunication.
Tough.
I don't think the guys in their secondary are as bad as it is. They just, the thing, even the play that Diggs makes to knock the ball out was so wide open. Those are all of those were communication problems. 2-point conversion, somebody just runs free. They'll tighten that up, I think. But the good news for the Cowboys and Cowboy fans is, you can go winless and win that division.
Yeah, good point. Good point. And that might be their saving grace, especially while they're trying to figure things out early in the season. Oh, young guys having some fun at the ball yard.
Throw them out. They're not wearing masks.
Twins down there, huh?
Cute.
That's awesome.
1:24 to go. 2nd down and 10 for Smith. Wants to go deep, loads up, fires that way, and just overshoots the intended receiver. He was looking for Marshall Moody. I'll tell you what, we had so much buildup with Reasoner coming into this game, but Caleb Smith looks the part.
Yeah, and again, these guys are going to be humming here in a couple of weeks. I mean, we're talking about first live action, shortened off season, no off season, all that stuff compacted. Timing plays are going to be difficult to execute early on in the year.
3rd down and 10 with 1:19 to go. Johnson all of a sudden interested in the clock in case they get it back, but it's completed to Moody this time. Let's see where they mark it. That's going to move the sticks for another South Texas Votech first down here with 1:14 to play. O'Connor trying to close it to a 1-score game before halftime. Smith sends Warnke and Moody to the right. He's got Locke on the left-hand side. He's got the very electric Quali Kindle there in the middle. And that's picked, and that might be 6. Going the other way is Hall. He's been everywhere all night, and now he's got himself a pick 6.
Man, the defenses have come up with some humongous plays here in the last 5 minutes of this half. This one, the biggest of them all, and you're right, we've been calling Hall's name all night, and he just stepped right in front of the receiver, and bye-bye. Nice little cut back there at the end, but you could tell that this guy knows how to play some football.
Sam Hall, he is the heartbeat of that Johnson defense. Makes all the calls from his middle linebacker spot. And that's a 53-yard touchdown interception return for the senior.
Yeah, he gets them in all their sets, returning starter, and he just absolutely looks like he's been on a football field before.
Physical. He's been around some of the more physical plays here tonight, and then Shows his speed and athleticism cutting back there. And Johnson, right before halftime, O'Connor driving, trying to make it a 2-score game, and all of a sudden you look up and it's 28-7. Big play by Sam Hall. Another flag down, but take another look at it, Chuck. And as you would say, he's got great flow.
He does. Hadn't noticed that. Couldn't see that because he had that brace on his back. But here it is from the low angle cam. Oh, he just read that all the way. And then took it all the way.
Very nice, Sam Hall, senior linebacker. Right now he's telling everybody how he did it. Okay, so yeah, I read his eyes, and that's great.
Yeah, you know, Connor doing a really nice job kind of chipping away, moving the ball slowly down the field, getting himself into a position to at least attempt a field goal. Sam Hall having none of that. Man, 3 turnovers here in the last 5 minutes. Big plays all the way around from these defenses here so far.
And don't take for granted what these moments mean. You can see the smiles. These kids have been waiting so long just to have some interaction with their friends instead of being cooped up at home doing virtual learning and being able to play football again, and all the sacrifices they have to make with testing and with distancing and with masks and with everything they're going through just to have this chance and to see a kid make a play and smile like that with his teammates on the sidelines. Football has never meant more than it does right now to a lot of these kids.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the same thing, right, for the coaches and the staff too. I mean, can you imagine you're trying to teach kids football, coach them football, and you know, you're working in the classroom and you're doing all these different things, and then yeah, you've got to make sure that all the social distancing and all the testing and everything's being implemented. I mean, I can't imagine the hours that these guys have spent trying to get ready for this night.
Warnke takes the kick. Warnke's got some space. Watch out, he's got speed. Across the 40, across midfield, he's still on his feet. And O'Connor may have a minute or so here to get something moving. Yeah, Coach Molesky told me before the game, I said, challenging year, Coach. He goes, most challenging year ever, and it will be the most challenging year that we'll ever face. And he said, we spend 90% of our time as coaches on things other than football. So, and you know football coaches.
Right. They're already committed.
All they do is breathe, live football night and day, film, scouting, coaching, teaching. And they don't even have time for any of that because 90% of it is communicating with players, keeping them safe, keeping them distant, all the communicating. All right, O'Connor trying to get something going here. 49 seconds to go. A little inside handoff to Kendall. He'll be slung out of bounds, and they're going to call that a horse collar. I'm not sure that I agree, but Meza, who's got an interception tonight, grabbed him by his shoulder, by the jersey around the shoulder pads, and slung him out of bounds. I thought you had to reach into the collar.
Personal foul. Defense, 15 yards at the end of the run. First down.
These refs know more than me, but we'll take a look at it. I don't know if he did. That's close. That's just a jersey tackle on the back from my view. He may have gotten his left hand up there around the, I guess you can call that.
Well, either way, it's a huge break for O'Connor. I mean, you tack 15 yards onto that, and now you got 41 seconds, and you're inside the 30-yard line.
So they're still alive, 28-7 here, 41 ticks left. Smith got time, gonna fire that way, and just short-hopped his intended receiver, Warnke.
Yeah, especially on a throw like that, you know, sometimes if you just put a little air under it, because there's no help on the backside. You'd like to have that one back for sure, but again, I mean, hats off, both these teams putting on a show here on opening night here for 6A football.
2nd and 10 with 34. Smith fires again. This time it's caught. And brought down from behind is Warnke.
Gotta hurry.
Tick-tock. Under 20. See if they spike or go. Straight drop for Smith. Going to the end zone. He's got Moody down there, and that's incomplete. Overshot him. That'll stop the clock with 10 seconds, and they'll have a shot at it here with 10 seconds to go. 4th and 1.
Can't say enough about the coverage down there. I mean, that's running stride for stride with the intended receiver.
We're number 1, not 2, not
They've burned all their timeouts, so on 4th and 1, they don't have a time to run it or run a second play. I guess they could run an out, pick up the first down, and stop the clock with 3 or 4, but maybe it's one play here.
Gonna have something on the left side.
Now it's one play. Smith fires, and that's incomplete. Stops it with 3 seconds. He took a shot. Tell you what, Smith did a good job of hanging in there to try to find something at the last second, but of course that was 4th down, so the ball will go over on downs. Johnson will take over with only 3 seconds. They'll likely take a knee and go into the locker room with a 28-7 lead over O'Connor in a football game that's been a lot closer than the score indicates.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, right? I mean, again, you got 2 teams trying to work on some things tonight and do the best that they can in terms of, you know, let's see what we can do here on opening night. We're testing out a couple things. We're running in different players. And, you know, O'Connor's doing a really good job of moving the football. They just haven't had any luck in the red zone, and that's the difference in the ball game so far.
Johnson and their young running back lived up to the hype here in the first half, but O'Connor's right in the football game from a competitive standpoint, just not on the scoreboard. We'll see more of Ben McCreary, Ty Reesner, and the rest of the Johnson Jaguars, and we'll see an O'Connor team come out and fight, because that's what David Molesky's teams do in the second half. And when we come back, stay tuned for the America's Diamond halftime show. We've got our scholar athlete and much more. We'll hear from the band directors and all the usual festivities when T&L returns on the CW35.
Welcome to the America's Diamond halftime show.
28-7 your halftime score. The Jaguars lead. Their band and drill team taking the field now. And earlier this week, we got a chance to catch up with the Johnson High School band director.
My name is Jarrett Littman, and I'm the band director at Claudia Taylor Johnson High School. This is my 13th year as the director at the campus. We have about 300 students that are in the band, and we're real excited about how the kids have responded to the pandemic. Still choosing to participate in the arts and not allowing, not allowing any obstacles to get in the way of them having a great experience this year. Probably the biggest thing we're focused on right now is keeping them safe and keeping them healthy, and that means practice for us looks a little bit different. Wearing masks, practicing spacing. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult when we're learning our routine, but for the most part, the kids have really embraced some of the things that we've changed in terms of staggered practice schedules, smaller groups, and really doing whatever we can to still pursue a high level of excellence, but put the priority on safety this year. Our show is titled Know Who You Are, and it's basically a portrait of our shows from the last 12 years. So we've taken highlights and snippets from just about every show since we've been open, and our hope is to inspire our alumni, inspire our community, and give the kids a chance to participate in the shows that they've kind of grown up watching. It's really exciting to get to go back and work on things you've done in the past, and I think it's really perfect for this year to keep everybody motivated and maybe provide some hope for the people that see our performances. I'm really humbled and proud of them. I'm thankful for the support from their parents. Obviously, we carry a great deal of anxiety about making sure we do everything we can to keep them safe, but we also don't want to lose sight of what a gift the opportunity to make music together is. So without sounding cliche, we're just really thankful. We're thankful that the athletes are 100% in. We're thankful that our administration is supportive, and we're just really excited that the season's happening. It's a gift.
We've teamed up again with the Children's Hospital of San Antonio to award a $5,000 band grant to one of the schools that appears on Thursday Night Lights this season. Remember, it's all based on your vote, so if you don't have it out already, time to break out your phone. And if you want to vote for the Johnson Band, text Band 3 to 44332. That's Band 3 with no spaces to 44332. For complete texting guidelines, head on over to the CW35.com.
San Antonio middle and high school athletes are doing great things for our community. San Antonio Sports and Methodist Healthcare are shining the light on teams that model key values through their actions. This week, we salute two schools whose community projects demonstrate beyond the game values. Last spring, the Johnson football team and student council hosted a food drive collecting donations for the San Antonio Food Bank, raising over $5,500 and providing over 38,000 meals. The O'Connor volleyball team also volunteered for the San Antonio Food Bank, where they helped move inventory and sort and pack food for distribution. These athletes demonstrated the beyond the game values of sportsmanship, selfless service, caring, integrity, and respect. San Antonio Sports and Methodist Healthcare salute high school and middle school coaches who inspire their teams to serve others. Parents, teachers, and coaches can nominate teams that go beyond the game. Visit sanantoniosports.org.
Watching the America's Diamond Halftime Show.
And the O'Connor Panther Band will take the field here at Dub Ferris in just a few more minutes. And earlier this week, we caught up with their band director as well.
My name is Alfonso Alvarado. I'm director of bands here at O'Connor High School in Helotes, Texas. This is my third year as head director here with the Panther Band. Due to the COVID guidelines, we've established 3 teams here at O'Connor High School, each team being a pep band for our football team and community. And so at every football game, you'll actually be able to reveal a new team. Same music, everything's the same, except it's just a different type of personnel that is at particular game. So we've established these 3 teams to give every single student an opportunity to attend at least 1 or 2 football games. That way there's a lot of equity throughout the program. Later on in the season, though, we do anticipate on hopefully getting all the bands together at one point and making sure that we have a really strong closing end of the season with UIL halftime. Well, our theme for this year for UIL is entitled Dreams. And so we are still going to stick with that concept of making sure that we do our best to perform a product that will allow our audience members to really be connected with what we're doing on the field, not just visually, but with the audible sense of things, and just portray that within the realm that we have, which is creating that atmosphere of a dreamlike setting. So it's a great production, and we've put some thought and some work into it, so it should be a really, really good production at the end. For this game, for halftime, what we'll be performing for our dance team and pep squad. And then from there, we will perform 2 what we call pep stand music for our audience, just to get the spirit alive and well here in Helotes. And so I think hearing live music and seeing it with our students will definitely create an atmosphere and a spirit of of happiness, and it's a few minutes of just forgetting everything that's happening.
Our thanks to Mr. Alvarado and the O'Connor Panther Band. Remember, we've teamed up with the Children's Hospital of San Antonio to award a $5,000 band grant, and it's all based on your vote. So if you'd like to vote for the O'Connor Band, text Band 4 to 44332. That's Band 4 without spaces to 44332. For complete texting guidelines, visit the CW35.com. And once again, thanks to the Children's Hospital of San Antonio for making the $5,000 band grant possible. We've got more with Halftime Show right after this.
You're watching the America's Diamond Halftime Show.
Welcome back to Ferris Stadium. We're at halftime. Johnson leads O'Connor 28-7. We're enjoying the O'Connor Band. And you know, at the end of the season, the Vulcan Materials Company presents a $10,000 scholarship to one of the student athletes that we recognize here on TNL. We got some good ones this week. Let's meet this week's students.
First up is Will Huntsinger, our scholar athlete this week from Johnson High School. The senior offensive lineman gets it done in the classroom too, with a 97.67 GPA.
Being respectful, being coachable translates from the field and into the classroom. You gotta pay attention. You gotta know what you're doing. You gotta listen. You know what to do.
That mindset has paid off. Will was named to the academic all-district team last year. He was also a unanimous pick for first team all-district for the O-line.
It all started West Point. My dad, he was on base there, military, and he put my brother and I on the Junior Black Knights, so that's where it all started.
Off the field, Will stays active by volunteering at veteran retirement homes and the San Antonio Food Bank.
The food bank is something that, that's always been something I've gravitated more to, because it's always hurting. COVID or no COVID, there's always people needing food.
Will is still considering what college he'd like to go to, but has a few choices in mind. He'd like to pursue a career in the medical field after graduation.
Obviously, my dad went to West Point. That is a really excellent school I'd like to go to. That's probably my top school. Something around either an occupational therapist or a physical therapist.
Our next scholar athlete is Paul Sneblin from O'Connor High School. The senior offensive lineman has a GPA of 99.6.
The mentality of football is really you got to give it your all, and I've kind of applied that to everything in my life. I'm a very competitive person just by nature. My whole family is. So I want to be the best.
Paul is the youngest of 5 Sneblin siblings who were introduced to the game of football in the Hawkeye State.
I got into it because my grandparents would get me and my family, some of my extended family, we'd get season tickets to the Iowa Hawkeye games. So we'd go there every Saturday.
Paul was inducted into the National Honor Society last year. He's also an accomplished musician as a member of the O'Connor Jazz Band.
Not a lot of people know that. I play saxophone there. That's another big passion of mine, actually, is music.
Last year, Paul played tenor sax in the All-Region Jazz Band.
And I hope to go to state this year. And that's been really great. It's been really fun.
After graduation, Paul plans on earning a degree in computer science.
I'm planning on continuing my football career in college. So I'd love to be able to go to one of those big schools, maybe as a walk-on or something like that.
Who is Vulcan Materials Company? You see our trucks on roads all over San Antonio and the surrounding area. But what do we do? Well, our story began over 100 years ago, and today we are the nation's largest producer of aggregates. That's stone, sand, and gravel. Plus, we produce construction-based materials including asphalt and ready-mixed concrete, the stuff to build the roads you travel, the schools your kids attend, and the homes you live in. Everywhere you look, you will see our footprint. Our story is one built on the talent, dedication, and performance of our employees. Hardworking San Antonians just like you. Our mission is to be responsible stewards with respect to the safety and environmental impact of our operations and products. In other words, we want to be your good neighbor, doing the right thing, the right way, all the time. The Vulcan way. Who are we? We're the ones helping to build a rock-solid future in San Antonio. Vulcan Materials Company, proud sponsor of Thursday Night Lights and Scholar Athletes.
You're watching the America's Diamond Halftime Show.
Welcome back to Ferris Stadium. Boy, it's good to see the bands on the field here at our America's Diamond Halftime Show. Johnson leads O'Connor 28-7. Again, just a great night for football. The players are finally getting to participate, and the bands are back on the field tonight as well. And the O'Connor band finishing up their performance, and glad to hear from them tonight as we move on to our AHIA highlights. First quarter, well, it was the Ben McCreary show. Made this nice little cutback move to make it 7-0 Johnson. He wasn't finished. He scored the first 2 touchdowns of the game, showing some extension to make it 14-0. But back come the O'Connor Panthers. Smith aired it out to John Locke, who was just, I'm bigger and stronger than you, for a 14-7 score. Matthew Rodriguez up the lead to 21-7. O'Connor hanging in there, but Sam Hall's interception return for a touchdown late in the first half makes it a 28-7 score. Again, Chuck, get a feel that the game's a lot closer than that, and we'll have, I think, a much bigger fight from O'Connor when we come back with the second half kickoff.
Thanks for watching the America's Diamond Halftime Show. Stay tuned for the second half kickoff. This is Taco Cabana Thursday Night Lights, presented by Thomas J. Henry and sponsored by Vulcan Materials Company, America's Diamond, the Children's Hospital of San Antonio, R&L Certified Auto Group, Air Serv Heating and Air Conditioning, Affordable Health Insurance Agency, Orange Theory Fitness, Air Today Heating and Air Conditioning, Guild Mortgage, San Antonio Sports, Methodist Healthcare, Plumbing Today, Texas Water Advisor, Beluga Air, Bargain Warehouse Outlet, JD Collision Express, Air Conditioning Service Company, the San Antonio International Airport, Centro Med, Mammoth Contracting, and Monarch Trophies.
Welcome back. The Johnson Jaguars ready to break through their banner. The O'Connor Panthers doing the same, and we're almost ready for some football here in the second half. And Chuck, what does O'Connor have to do, you think, to get back in this football game? Down 28-7. They have played competitive football, I would say, from about midway point of the first quarter on. They just came out a little slow, got hit in the mouth a couple times, woke up, but ever since then they've been competitive.
Well, you talked about, really how close this game feels regardless of what you see on the scoreboard, and I think it's because obviously you got turnovers. I mean, that was a 14-point swing possibly at the end of the first half. I mean, O'Connor's going down the field, and then Sam Hall makes that play and returns it the other way. So, I mean, as we take a look at the first half stats, I mean, as you can see, rushing yards about the same, passing yards dead even. I mean, but it's the turnovers. I mean, you cannot turn the ball over, number one, and you certainly can't turn the ball over in the red zone like O'Connor's done. And then on top of that, anytime a defense can take it down and score like that, it's going to put you behind the 8 ball. So I think that's a clear reason as to why we are. But otherwise, it's been a really entertaining game.
This week when we talked to David Molesky, he said it'll come down, in a game like this where you haven't played it yet, you don't know. He said it'll probably come down to 3 things. Turnovers, check. Field position, check. And big plays, check. And that's exactly what's gone against his squad here tonight. He called it. It's been exactly that. Field position just as important as the turnovers.
Yeah, and especially early on in the season, you probably feel like you can get some big plays because the other team's working out some kinks just like you are. So, the goal going in was to not give up big plays and to then get big plays. But to this point, Johnson's been the one that's done a better job of taking care of the football and then capitalizing on the turnovers.
Taking a look at Mark Soto. First game as the head coach of the Johnson Jaguars. Just joining us, he came to Johnson after a very successful career, 7 years at San Marcos. San Antonio native, played for D.W. Rutledge and Converse Judson in the late 80s and early 90s. As a senior, played on that 90 team. Went all the way and played, I think they played Humble Kingwood at Memorial Stadium there in Austin. And very, very good team there at Judson, and he's a DW disciple, and he brings a lot of that intensity, boot camp, and all that as we get ready for tonight's second half kickoff. Brought to you by R&L Certified Auto Group, and Johnson will kick it away.
Molesky probably had some things to say at halftime too, so I would imagine we're going to see them spill it here in the second half.
Aiden Warnke and Quali Kendall back to receive this one. It's a shorter kick. And let's go down to the sidelines to Zach Hedrick, who spoke to Coach at halftime. Zach.
Yeah, I caught up with both coaches, Don. Started with Mark Soto, and he said his team's got to keep the hammer down. He's looking for his team to execute and not exhale in the second half. And then you guys kind of mentioned it with Coach McCleskey and the O'Connor Panthers, saying he just said, hey, it's a young team and we're going to make young mistakes. You guys mentioned the turnovers, but Coach McCleskey said it wasn't just that. He's looking to see how his team responds in the second half, guys.
Well, if they're a David Molesky coach team, they will respond with effort, that's for sure, as Smith hands it inside. Kendall picks up about 3. Again, he's got a nice combination of shifty feet, speed, and showing some strength there, fighting for a couple yards. He's also, we've been crediting him a lot, but we can't understate the offensive line that he's running behind. Boy, those guys are good.
Dunkwu making a really nice play there from his outside linebacker position to make the stop on the play.
Here's Kendall again, looking for a little crease. Dances his way for maybe a half a yard. It'll be 3rd down and long for O'Connor here, as they want to get something going on their first possession. Don't want to have a 3 and out on your own 30 and give it right back to Johnson. 84 yards on the game so far for Quali Kendall.
Parker Meza making another play for the Johnson Jags.
3rd down and 7. Smith firing to the outside. He's got a nice completion on the out route to Moody. That's a 1st down. Mammoth contracting 1st down here in the 3rd quarter. And the Panthers keep the sticks moving.
Well, Johnson's kind of gone into a defense where they're playing a little zone. And again, up front for O'Connor, making a really nice throwing lane for Caleb to get the ball out on time. Byron Hooper's the offensive coordinator for O'Connor, and he's a former college football player at Texas Tech. About as good a coordinator as you're going to find anywhere.
1st down and 10. Smith's going to keep. Not a bad gain on 1st down. Gets about 5. Take 5 yards a pop every time.
Yeah, and they've, again, I mean, we just showed the stats. They've had a reasonable good time moving the ball and getting it down the field. It's just been, what are you going to do when you get it near the goal line? You got to stick it in.
Caleb Smith showing off his arm and his physicality here tonight. Nice young player as he's looking to go deep. Pumps, now fires, and that's caught. Another nice completion from Caleb Smith, this time to Brian Davids. He's a junior.
Hey, look at this rocket ball, Don.
I like his patience.
Yeah, I mean, he was looking downfield for the big play, wasn't there. Took the underneath stuff and moved the sticks. Got a little blood on that right arm, too. Like it.
Another Mammoth contracting 1st down. Kendall on a little counter this way, picks up 4. You know, Chuck, last week I gave you a little tease, and then the finish was so fantastic that I never got to talk about the Fredericksburg and Bernie uniforms. But the musings of the uniform czar will be heard in week 2. In the 4th quarter, and I've got some cool observations, I believe. Smith wants to go deep, checks down. What a throw! Right off the hands of his receivers, but he threw that into tight coverage and threaded the needle. But Isaiah Gonzalez just couldn't quite hang on to it.
Did Parker Meza get a hand on this football? Did not.
Did not.
But he was right there. Pretty good coverage. That was a darn good throw. Right on target.
The accuracy was incredible, especially considering the coverage. .9:11 to go, 3rd down and 8, pressured. Gets it to Kendall, but he will not be able to pick up the 1st down because the Johnson defense was all over that. Justin Kirk, the senior linebacker at 5'9", 175, ran him down. Not easy to bring Kendall down in the open field, and he just did that.
Yeah, Parker Meza doing another great job. He came on the blitz and essentially came through untouched. Right up the A-gap. And again, you know, get the pressure on the quarterback, and he's got to let it go.
4th and 5 for O'Connor. Trying to draw him off sides, doesn't work, so Smith will scramble. Now he's running. Smith in trouble and will just throw it out and give it away on downs. O'Connor didn't have anything there, and the Johnson defense fired up about the job they did, and we're back in 15 seconds.
San Antonio International is the first and only airport to use the Light Strike robot, which is proven to destroy hard-to-kill viruses, to include the virus that causes COVID-19, providing the highest level of cleanliness so you can fly easier, fly safer, and fly confident.
Just an outstanding job by the Johnson defense. Those guys keeping the quarterback in the pocket and then getting pressure.
First down for the Johnson Jaguars as Reisner fires to the outside. It's complete, but didn't get much. Stepped out of bounds. Is his favorite target, Shane Johnson, the first-team All-District football receiver and the MVP of the district basketball player. As we talked about earlier, he's got Division I offers in both sports.
Yeah, UIW, UTSA. UIW's offered him in both sports.
I tell you what, I'd play the one where you didn't get hit.
You're going to get hit in both, I'm afraid, at the college level.
Oh, look at the move by Matthew Rodriguez. Nice cutback. That's why you play baseball.
Oh, that's right. Well, that and the whole running thing. You don't have to run much. Don't get winded. Matthew Rodriguez showing off his skills tonight. Look at that. Head and shoulders.
Boy, he resembles the play of his brother, who was such a standout player for the Jags.
He's the bell cow on those teams, right? Where are you out?
Sets up a Mammoth contracting first down opportunity. They throw it inside, handed inside to the fullback, Blair Blunt. He's had a nice game so far. Runs physical. Played last year as a junior, had 150 yards and a touchdown.
I'll tell you what, this Johnson team looks absolutely loaded at running back, right? We've seen quite a few guys that look like they can carry the ball.
Hand it to him again. And he picks up a couple. Enough to give the Jags another Mammoth contracting first down. They move the sticks inside Panther territory.
Late substitution coming in for O'Connor.
Reisner drops and he's on a roll now, fires and just overshot Rodriguez. Nothing really there. Made the smart play. We talked a lot about the O'Connor offensive line, the size of them, but I tell you what, Johnson's guys, no slouch either. Connor Gillespie, their center, is doing a nice job tonight. Big number 77 is 6'2", 277. Hunsinger, our scholar athlete who made that big hit, is 275. And Jonathan Conway is 260. And they're getting some work done. Conway with a nice block there. He pulled from his left guard position to the right side. Watch the block that he makes and the speed that he used. Big number 76 to get over there. He pulls and gets over there and makes a nice seal block.
Yeah, everybody doing a really good job up front. And what's interesting to me, Don, is, you know, Hunsinger, we can talk about him when we get a chance, but I mean, he's really showing off tonight.
Outstanding young man. We're going to take a break with him. It's timeout on the field. Johnson leading O'Connor.
Closed captioning for today's game is sponsored by Texas Water Advisor.
Welcome back. There's Big Will Hunsinger, our scholar athlete. And Chuck, this kid's got a lot going for him, doesn't he?
Oh, he really does. You know, what's interesting, you know, he said he wanted to go to West Point like his dad, but he's really been under-recruited, Don. I mean, this has obviously been a strange year with all the COVID stuff going on and everything, but this guy was actually hurt last year, made it back for the last 3 games of the season, and still made All-District. To show you what kind of talent he is. And, I mean, obviously, he's flashing big time tonight. I mean, as well as he blocks, I mean, that play he made off the interception, that looked like elite-level speed for a man that size. I mean, there's just no other way to spin it.
Motor, too, and desire, you know, almost like reminded me of Manu Ginobili after a turnover. He's mad at himself, so he wants to go get it back. He was mad they turned it over, and he was going to make somebody pay for it. First down and 10 is Reisner going to Johnson. That's a favorite play of theirs. And there's going to be a pass interference penalty, I believe. He was held up. Gio Waller may be called for it. If you go back and look at last year's highlight reel of the Johnson Jaguars, that play went for about 10 touchdowns or more. And it's just a straight fly route. He throws it up there, and Johnson goes up and gets it over everybody.
Yeah, Coach Soto was telling us this week that this is really the first quarterback he's ever had that can throw a back fade, or a back shoulder fade at an elite level. So there's a lot of weapons that Ty Reasoner has to go to as a football player, but he's got a lot of talent too. So Coach Soto really impressed with this young man's arm talent.
Yeah, not too many corners in this city are gonna take it away from Johnson in a one-on-one jump ball situation. They run Rodriguez to the outside. Rodriguez is gonna cut it back. Rodriguez, touchdown, Jaguars. Nope. They bringing it back.
Oh, there is a hanky on the floor.
It's going to come back, and there's a personal foul against Johnson. Not sure what the call was.
Well, we don't need to single anybody out. We just know that it's not a touchdown, and it's going to be -15 on the play.
I saw the personal foul indication, but I didn't see what it was. See if we see, was it a chop block again? A blind side block, yeah. There you go.
I don't know what you're supposed to do on that play, but these refs have done a really good job all night, so you got a better angle and a better eye on it than we do for sure.
I wanted college football last week, and you just can't come back, and it's kind of a new rule. You cannot come back and catch somebody not looking.
O'Connor's showing blitz and then backs off.
Reasoner fires a slant, and it's incomplete, intended for Kanan Fairley, who I believe was the guilty party on that blindside block.
And then Shane Bailey doing a pretty good job running with the receiver. Ball's away, tad behind, but he did a good job of getting his right hand up there and making sure that that was not a completed pass, and obviously giving a few inches away on the height meter to the man he was trying to cover.
So it's only 2nd down and 25 for the Jaguars. A lot of real estate to cover here. And they're going to want to talk about it. And we'll take it with them. One of those 2-minute timeouts. 28-7. It's Johnson over O'Connor here at Ferris Stadium. Welcome back to Ferris Stadium. Time for our Plumbing Today band cam as you take a look at the O'Connor band members. Percussion section. Got the pep squad and drill team all spread out, socially distanced. Brought to you by Plumbing Today. Come on, Panther Band. You can't out-sponsor our sponsor. I think they had a costume change.
It's all good.
Blunt's got it. Breaks a couple tackles. He's still fighting. Picks up about 3.
Yeah, it's just a great individual effort, right? I mean, it looked like he was going to be stopped behind the line and was able to turn it up for at least a few.
Now you'll probably see, with a 28-7 lead and 4 minutes to go here in the third, probably going to see a lot of clock management here by the Johnson Jaguars. I don't know how aggressive they want to be. Like you said, how much of this do you want to put on tape for your district opponents? Because again, there hadn't been a lot of scrimmages to look at. And we're going to be playing district football real quickly. Reasoner, straight drop, fires over the middle. He's got Johnson. Johnson was interfered with and still almost made the catch. O'Connor fans don't like it, but he was grabbed about 5 yards deep in the end zone. Boy, you could see he runs like a deer. Just a fantastic athlete.
God, he looks like an NFL tight end of that build. He's just so huge. What a target.
Yeah.
What a luxury to have a guy that's that big that can get down the field.
Zachary Martinez on the coverage grabs him right there on the back of the jersey. Kind of a sly little NFL type move there if you can get away with it, but he didn't.
Get the little chicken wing out there and hook him if you can. So the 15-yard penalty didn't hurt, as it turns out, because they got it right back and got a fresh set.
And now we're back in the Central Med red zone, but David Molesky wants to talk things over, so he burns it, and we'll take it with him. 4:23 left here at Ferris, and Johnson trying to put the nail in the coffin when we come back. Welcome back to Ferris Stadium. Time for our Guild Mortgage Smile Cam, and the O'Connor cheerleaders trying to find something to smile about here, and masks aplenty. And you were commenting on that, Chuck. Good job by the fans out here tonight. You know, I've seen so many photos and stuff on social media of certain municipalities not really doing a good job of being safe, and tip of the cap to the San Antonio football community, and especially Johnson and O'Connor for, you know, taking care of each other tonight.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job, and I mean, it's all you can ask for, right? Just everybody do your part.
All right, so we're first and goal now after the penalty from the 6. Reasoner surveys the defense inside the Central Med red zone. He hands it to Blunt. Blunt breaks it, pops it to the outside, gets about 1.5 yards. Good pursuit by the O'Connor D.
That's why I love this sport, Don. I mean, so Coach Molesky calls a timeout, waved off all his coaches, and just went and had a stern talking to all of his players. And he looked Seth Galindo right in the eyes and told him exactly what he wanted on that play, or what he wanted to see from this unit the rest of the way. And who was the first guy to go out and make a play after the timeout was Seth Galindo. I mean, you just see these little incremental tids where kids are growing up right before your eyes. I mean, it's fantastic.
Reeser on the slant to Johnson. He caught it. Touchdown, Jags. That's a college or NFL type execution there. Throw and catch and route. That's big time. Not complicated, but the execution it just looks like it should happen on Saturday or Sunday.
I mean, the biggest thing is it's just a great job at the bottom of the route. You've got to get inside. You've got to find a way to get yourself between the quarterback and the DB. Just as you said, I mean, you couldn't have executed it any better.
We told you we'd see and hear from Shane Johnson before this night is over with, and we just did. He's on the board to make it 35-7. Not easy to grab a handle on those BBs coming off the arm of Ty Reasoner. Just one-on-one, ran a good route, and made a great catch.
And what's really fascinating too, and I didn't see this the first time around, is that, you know, if you're a defensive lineman, you're taught if you can't get to the quarterback and if you see that he's going to try to whistle one by you, you got to get your hands up. Well, the kid that was putting the pressure on that side of the ball got his hands up, but by the time he got him up, the ball was gone and away. That was a P.
Yeah. Is he a baseball pitcher as well? Does Reasoner play baseball? Because, boy, he sure's got a gun.
That's a good
Shane
question.
Johnson, certainly
Take a look at my notes.
2-sport star. We've told you a couple times tonight he's the district MVP in basketball. See where he ends up at the next level. You mentioned his offers at UTSA and Incarnate Word. Speaking of UTSA and local kids, how about the job that Jeff Traylor's doing over at UTSA, getting San Antonio kids to stay home? You and I called Sincere McCormick and Rashad Wisdom when they were sophomores over at Judson, and they're freshman All-American, and Sincere having another great year. He's got 2 more big linemen from Judson coming next year, and the Roadrunners are 3-0.
Yeah, find a way to win. I mean, had some breaks, clearly. But
you're still mad at your Texas State kicker.
Ball's on the ground. No, I was trying to think. You know what? What you had me thinking, I'm going to have to do some research now. I don't know if Ty Reisner plays baseball, but Caleb does on the other side. He's a pitcher. So I don't know if both guys play baseball.
Yeah, so certainly, the kicker meltdown at Texas State was a break for UTSA, but, people slowly forget about that when you're 3-0. They got UAB this week, but it says a lot about the culture that Traylor's installed there with the belief to win. And people have said for years, if you could get some San Antonio kids to stay home, and he's got some of the better ones staying home. Got an offer out to that Shane Johnson. We'll see where he decides to play.
Pretty good run right there, huh?
Goes for about 6 yards up the middle.
Yeah, I mean, right. If you're UTSA, you don't have to apologize for anything. I mean, you get Frank Harris hurt last week, and, next man up, you still find a way to win. And
San Antonio kid coming home and Josh Atkins.
That's right. So, again, it's hard to win football games. And, with as much adversity as UTSA has had at that position with all the injuries the last couple of years, yeah, I mean, nobody's going to have to apologize for being 3-0.
Little jet sweep to Warnke, strung out. Good job by the O'Connor defense to string that one out.
But you're right, you called your shot. I am a little bitter about my Bobcats.
Oh, I felt so bad for that kicker that day.
But they're trending in the right direction
to
too.
Win.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the key, right? You got to find a way to win those games. And they will. Gave Boston College quite a game last week. Our man Tyler Vitt playing well.
Moody's got it for looks like a first down. They'll move the chains. It's another Mammoth contracting first down. Quali Kendall again going nowhere this time. And I tell you what, as you watch both of these defenses play, both of these teams play, that's Justin Kirk making the play there. They come from such good programs and good coaching that, the execution, even in a 35-7 game, stays high. Intensity stays high because the kids believe that they're not necessarily playing just for the third and fourth quarter here, but they're playing for the future as well next week. Oh, we have another collision of the game nominee.
22,
Thomas
bringing the
wood. Just 5'10", 180. The senior coming up, and he got actually pushed. I think Locke blocked him into the guy.
Walked through his hands up like, what do I have to do here?
That might have been a little helmet to helmet as well.
Yeah, it was unintentional.
Glad nobody's hurt. 3rd and 9. Ball's out quick. Caught.
First down.
Another Mammoth contracting first down. Warnke this time.
Well, Don, I was talking to Coach Soto this week, and, I got the sense that he really feels like he's got a talented team. And, he said coming into this game tonight that facing O'Connor, we aren't going to face anybody bigger, stronger, tougher up front on either the offensive line or defensive line. So to have this kind of performance through almost 3/4 of this football game, he's got to be thrilled.
Yeah, I mean, he's played in a very tough district, but when you open with O'Connor and you're playing one of the best teams from the district down the street, you're getting a test right away. And again, this is a guy who's only seen his team in person 20 times and one scrimmage, maybe 2, and he's just kind of finding out what he's got right now.
Well, again, he gave a lot of compliments to Ron Ritteman and said, these kids really know football, and it's a testament to the path and the guidance of Coach Ritteman before he moved on to Alamo Heights. He said they're sponges. They're all smart. They know how to play football, and You just got to coach them a little bit, and they're going to take whatever you give them and then go out and execute it.
Yeah, it was already a very strong program. And when you have a program like the one that Ron Riddiman built, as we look at our Monarch trophies for tonight's game, call Monarch at 210-344-3777 for all your trophy needs. Monarch's been with us from the very beginning here on TNL. Serve the business community, the sports community, and a lot of contact down there. No call. But yeah, Ron Riddiman, I mean, just like if David Molesky left O'Connor tomorrow, he would leave the program. You know, it's a program. It's not like, you know, this is a tradition. These kids from the time they're in 6th grade, they want to be Panthers or they want to be Jaguars. And it's deeper than just football practice. It's the parental involvement, it's the off seasons, it's the camps, it's the traditions. And Ron Riddiman built a winner at Johnson, and Soto, the beneficiary, taking over right now, but he's also built programs of his own, and he's making it his own. The kid's saying this week that, you know, the Judson culture level of intensity is certainly noticeable that Soto brought to practice. And you and I know from being at practice back in the days of the D.W. Rutledge years of they just did it different than everybody else. You know, I mean, there was no water breaks and people smiling and having fun while the other guys practiced. I mean, if you were standing on the sidelines during practice, it was helmet on, chin strap on, mouthpiece in, screaming at the top of your lungs like it was the biggest play of the game of the year. And no time in between drills and all of that intensity. He's brought that to a Johnson program that was already on really good feet.
And I like the fact that, you know, both of these guys, you know, their roots together go deep. I mean, when they were a lot younger, they ran summer training courses for Rutledge back in the 90s. So, you know, it started there, and both of them are on the Region 8 board, which, you know, the coaching board that covers Georgetown all the way down to Lytle. And, you know, so these guys rely on each other for, you know, program advice, play advice. Those Judson roots that they cut together, I mean, it's clear that, you know, what happened under the tutelage of D.W. Rutledge when they were kids has matriculated with them a lot further than just high school. And obviously Molesky's got coaching influences from his father and some other people too, and I'm sure Coach Soto does as well. But, you know, there's a little Judson in both of these teams for sure.
That's the end of the third quarter. Our score, Johnson 35, O'Connor 7. We got another quarter of football to play here on TNL, and a game much closer than the scoreboard looks like. We'll see if O'Connor can get back in it when we come back for the fourth quarter. We're back with our Air Serv heating and air conditioning third quarter highlights. Nice simple slant executed to perfection. Ty Reisner to Shane Johnson, making it look like the NFL guys. Makes it 35-7 here as we start the fourth quarter. Coach Mark Soto talking with him pregame about the difficulties of the mask wearing and while you're trying to coach football. We've all got our own mask issues and how it affects us. Coaching football's got its own set of challenges. He said his biggest problem is the size of his neck. He says, I got to lose some weight so my neck mask will not choke me. A 5-yard penalty on the Jags. A delay of game. Again, Chuck, it hasn't been that much of a blowout on the stat sheet.
No, indeed. And I mean, looking at that, you would never know that the score is what it is. But again, that 14-point swing at the end of the second quarter was just an absolute killer for the O'Connor Panthers to this point. We'll see if they can overcome it. It's going to be one heck of a rally if they can pull it off here in the fourth.
It starts right here. Kendall's got it. Kendall's got speed to the outside, coming to close. And
oh, what a play
by both of them. Quali Kendall says, I win this one, gets the corner and scores. Good pursuit, but not quite enough to stop Quali Kendall.
What was interesting, Don, was the huddle before that play. Quali was out doing a little dance, and I was like, does he know something we don't? And then sure enough, he gets the ball and sticks it in for 6. Way to go, 7.
He's got a nice motor. He plays with intensity as O'Connor will try to close it to 35-14, and Ethan Jarman does just that. We'll see if O'Connor can close some more here. We're early in the 4th. Hey, it's time for our Orange Theory Band Cam. As we check out the band's working out. Johnson going through their practice routine, percussion drill. Brought to you by, they're always in uniform.
There you go. I like it. You know you're big time if you get
Orange
sponsored.
Theory. Oh, check this out. Nice. The Johnson student section. Oh, I'm sorry, the O'Connor student section looking like George Clinton and Funkadelic. A little onside. What hands? Was that Meza?
46? I don't think so.
No, he's 36.
That would be Anthony Zuniga.
Anthony Zuniga with some quick hands.
Got to go 10 yards. It does. Got it to pop up nice, and then look at him trying to make a play on the other end.
Got to know that was coming, or expect to be ready for it just in case.
Got him on the hands team for a reason.
So you had a Fred Astaire reference earlier, and I had a George Clinton and Funkadelic reference, and the high school kids watching tonight's broadcast have no idea.
Well, yours was more contemporary than mine, so.
Blunt. Nice job by the O'Connor D. Maybe a gain of 1. Big number 56 in there for the Panthers making the stop. Aaron Granillo. 2nd down and 9 for Johnson. And Johnson sending a message here on television tonight to all the teams in their district, the Reagans and the Churchills and the others of the world, that they're legit.
Hello.
Another completion from Reisner, this time to Kanan.
Everybody's All-American.
Kanan Fairley.
Weapon outside. So many.
To South Texas Votech first down. Zach was telling us earlier that Fairley's new to Johnson.
Where'd he come from, heaven? Jeepers. Just like Ty Reisner needs any more tools in the sack.
Blunt. I'll hand it to him. Look at him just push people off him. We haven't seen Ben McCreary, who scored the first 2 touchdowns of the game, hadn't had a touch since the first quarter. And don't know if they're just kind of spreading the wealth around, or if minor injury, we don't want to speculate, but we're seeing a lot of Blair Blunt, the senior.
Yeah, well, you know, Soto said that he wanted to be multiple tonight, and then he wanted to spread the wealth. So, you know, and Coach Molesky told us the same thing. I mean, they're going to be kicking the tires on a lot of kids tonight because they're still in the evaluation stage.
I think we found exactly that Ben McCreary can play.
Right. That was a no-doubter. So we know that check. He checks the box. Okay, we'll go to the next.
We know Shane Johnson's going to be the best receiver in the district. Check.
But I mean, this is scary. Like who's ever gotten the ball in that backfield has made something happen. So, you know, they certainly look loaded.
Yeah, McCreary. He looks like he's just, you know, enjoying the game. He's fine.
And not only that, Soto told us, listen to this, when asked what he thought he had, as we watched the ball go away down the sideline, just incomplete. But Coach Soto said that he thought he has a smart team that's capable. Playing the hand a little close to the vest, but you know, again, not trying to oversell his team, but I think he knows what he has, and now is it, can we get it together as a squad and then go out and execute? But I mean, you got to be impressed. I mean, they had 2 impressive scrimmages where they scored a bunch of touchdowns, and then you know, you come out against a very talented program like O'Connor and do what they've done tonight through 3+ quarters. I mean, you can't help but be impressed.
We said they'd check all the boxes. How about a 50-yarder? They check that box? Almost, not quite gonna get there. Easton Watney trying a real long field goal. It's no good. And Johnson's lead continues to be 35-14, 9:42 to go when we come back. Time for our air conditioning service company Smile Cam. And I just noticed the Smile Cam's running on about 90% battery life. Straight drop for Smith, wants to go deep, fires over the middle. He's got Locke. Good coverage back there, one-on-one. Locke thought maybe he got interfered with, but boy, he's a big target.
Oh, he is. I thought he may have gotten bumped there at the end too, but you can see what O'Connor's thinking here. I mean, if we get a quick strike here, and then maybe if we can get one of these onside kicks, I mean, we might be able to get back in this football game. So obviously the key on this particular drive is see if you can't get a quick strike and do it as quickly as you can. Save as much time on the clock to see if you can mount a comeback.
Smith again over the middle. He's got Locke again. Did he make a great catch? He certainly did. Boy, he went down there low, has hands turned around. That's a hard catch to make when your hands are turned around backwards like that.
Indeed. All right, gonna do some look at me stuff from the sideline, but you got to go. Clock's winding. Nice throw. Even better catch. Look at that. Got it, found the ears, pulled it in. Nice reception.
South Texas Votech first down for the Panthers near midfield. Smith wants to go deep again. Over the middle to Moody, who makes just as good a catch. Takes a hit, bounces off a tackler down to the 15.
What a tough catch, and then even tougher taking a blow. That man-sized jog off the field too. Mercy, he get blasted at the end of this.
Moody's taken a couple of big hits tonight, made a couple of great catches as well. 1st and 10 from the 16. Caleb Smith, we got a false start, I believe.
Offense number 15, 5-yard penalty, remains first.
Smith just wanted to back out of there too quickly and take another look at the play by Moody.
That's 2 great strikes from Caleb. Really good throws, and again, just great receptions on the other end. We talked about how talented Johnson is on the outside, and O'Connor's showing it off now too.
Incompletion there.
Johnson doing the wise thing, double covering 15. Nothing else that stopped the clock. O'Connor's done a really good job getting down the field in a short amount of time, exactly what they have to do to try to get back in this game.
You know, we talked about kind of the alarm being sounded here tonight by Johnson to all their district opponents. We forget, I forgot, Mark Kusenberger pointed it out to me, that, you know, Brandeis is now in that district, and they're always good. As Locke goes up to try to catch a great throw. Did he come down with it? He did. Touchdown, John Locke. 2 of the biggest plays of the night coming from number 15. The one where he would not be tackled, and then that's a big-time catch in traffic, going over the top and hanging on.
How about the drive engineered by Caleb Smith, growing up before our very eyes? We talked about, you know, him basically being a guy that's been on varsity for the last 2 years, watching a lot, but learned a lot, has watched a lot of big ball games, now gets his chance, and man, he was absolutely electric on that drive.
Do we have in it what we had last week. Another fantastic finish brewing. 8:25, plenty of time when we come back. Welcome back to Ferris Stadium. As we take a look at the social media posing going on with the fancy hats. Student section all into it, especially if you're O'Connor right now, because you have a little life as we take a look at John Locke, who has really showed out tonight. David Molesky's team, I told you they would keep fighting. That's just who they are, no matter what the scoreboard says.
Yeah, every second of every single game. I mean, you know, he's down 4 scores and he's over there coaching them up, trying to get them to, you know, win the next play, if nothing else. Let's find out about yourself in a tough spot.
Mark Soto's got his hands guys up. Shane Johnson up close, expecting the onside. It's coming that way. He takes that second hop. And they got exactly what they wanted, except Johnson made a great play. We're back in 15 seconds.
San Antonio International is the first and only airport to use the Light Strike robot, which is proven to destroy hard-to-kill viruses, to include the virus that causes COVID-19, providing the highest level of cleanliness so you can fly easier, fly safer, and fly confident.
Robert Ramirez going up to catch that one. Hey, you know, thanks to the San Antonio Airport, by the way, for joining us this year. Using that robot for cleanliness. Did you hear how the Atlanta Falcons are going to open up Mercedes-Benz Stadium this week and let a limited number of fans in? Did you hear how they're cleaning that stadium?
No.
Drones.
Really?
They're going to fly around the stadium and spray medical-grade disinfectant over all the seats. Drone spray. Amazing.
Indeed. I'll tell you, Don, you know, as you watch this game, I mean, you get little subtleties where you know that both of these teams have been well coached. I mean, that play was obviously going nowhere from the start, but, you know, just a great job by Blair Blunt to just stay in bounds. You know, he knows what the deal is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to work on the clock. There's no way that O'Connor can come back in this ball game
if the clock runs.
If the clock runs out, right? It's a really heady play.
Fires to the outside. That's Ramirez who made the great catch on the onside kick.
Again, move the sticks and work on the clock. And if you're O'Connor, you got to score, and you had to steal a possession there on an onside kick at some point to really, really give yourself a decent chance. First of all, you got to get off the field first, obviously.
That's another one of those routes that you don't really have to worry about an incompletion, which would stop the clock. And you don't have to worry about taking your receiver to the sideline, which if he gets pushed out of bounds would stop the clock. And now you can see Mark Soto draining the play clock down to 2, down to 1, snaps it right at 0 and runs the football close to a first down mark. It's going to be a little short.
But, right, so there's another one. You run the play clock all the way down to 1. How many times do we see a team that, you know, they're going to snap it with 11 seconds left on the play clock? There's no sense in doing that.
Right, now you got a 4th and 1. My guess is he'll run this all the way down to 1, and you got your big, strong quarterback. You could sneak it, or you could hand it to Blunt. Either way, on 4th and 1, you know, O'Connor's defense thinking they can make the play of the game here. But they run in, and Matthew Rodriguez in for Blunt. That he's good for a yard, right? I mean, he's been so tough. See what they do with him. Hand it to him. And he may be stopped short.
We got a rugby scrum.
A rugby scrum, and I believe the O'Connor defense thinks they stopped him, but that linesman's got his foot over the line. I don't think they're going to be happy with this call. They're giving it to him.
Oh, wow.
The O'Connor faithful going crazy. Let's see. Good angle here. And we lose him.
Unbelievable effort by both of these teams. Look at this.
You cannot. It's just impossible to tell. It's impossible to tell.
That's good stuff, fellas.
I don't think he got there, but you can't tell where the ball was. His head was short of the line. But it's a South Texas Votech first down, the biggest first down of the game for the Johnson Jaguars. And they run Blunt now. And, you know, that's a gut punch to the O'Connor defense. You got great fan base. They were all fired up. They got you fired up. And you look to make a stop and don't get the call. So the rally might end right there.
Wow, that was impressive, though. What an effort. Yep. I thought he'd stop them, too, to be honest with you. But, again, we don't have the angle, so I don't know. All I know is I'm impressed with the effort for sure.
Absolutely. Both teams. Just the desire shown. Play clock down to 4, 3. Blunt again picks up about 4. And now it's time for our JD Collision Express collision of the game. Gavin Mack running into Shane Johnson. Shane Johnson thought he was going to lay the block, and Gavin Mack, truck.
Oh, that's good. He did his job. He paid the price, but it's like a broken bat in baseball when you get a base hit. The bat dies a hero, right?
Along with that electric shock in your hand that hits your elbow nerve. 3rd and 1. Blunt's going to fight for this, and again, the O'Connor defense bows up. This time they will mark it short of the 35.
That's a good spot right there.
And that'll set up
on the right side, doing a great job.
Yeah, so now we're back to where we started, right? Yep. 4th and 1 again, and we might see another rugby scrum.
Gotta have it. Got to have it. O'Connor saving that last time out. Here we go.
Here we go. 4th down and 1. Reasoner's got Matthew Rodriguez again. And this time, Johnson's going to burn a timeout. Hey, in a 14-point game with, only 3 minutes to go, still some pretty good drama here. Who cares about the game or the score? Now it's just about who wins the scrums.
Well, you think about, had O'Connor gotten off the field, that really would have tightened things up. And clearly, if they can get off the field here, they're going to have a chance. They went right down the field and scored pretty quickly on that last drive. We'll see what happens from there.
All right, time for our Bargain Warehouse Outlet play of the night. And how about the play we saw earlier tonight? Game changer. Hall, Oski to the house. As you said, Chuck, a 14-point swing. Sam Hall, the senior leader linebacker, coming up with our Bargain Warehouse Outlet play of the night.
Yeah, potentially for sure a 14-point swing, and it's right now the difference in the ball game if you add it all up. So, again, it's coming down to one play right here. If you're O'Connor and you get a stop, you're going to give yourself a chance to maybe get back in this football game. And if you're Johnson and you pick up the yard to gain, well, this game's going to be effectively over. All hinging on one play, my man.
That's right. Here's our Beluga Air player profile. Carson Jones, the senior wide receiver. Hadn't seen much of him. He's wearing like an alternate uniform there, which brings us to the Uniform Czar musings of the night.
You better make it snappy.
Okay, you ready?
You gotta have it.
I love the O'Connor pants. You know why? They remind me of the Dallas Cowboys. You know how the Cowboys pants don't really match? They're not really blue. They're not really gray. They've got a little green in them. O'Connor's not gold. It's not yellow. It's just it's a little bit off, which makes it cool. I love their block numbers. It's a classic uniform, the 2 stripes on the helmet and on the side of the pants. Traditional, yet brilliant, and the oversized lettering on the helmets. It's one of the best uniforms in town.
Stopped him.
Rodriguez is stopped. Well, he's still fighting.
They got him stopped.
I don't know. They do have the marker short of the line to gain.
Wow.
I believe it's going to be O'Connor football.
And I'll tell you what, those Panthers are really doing a great job submarining on these short
down.
yardage calls.
Look at that turnover.
And this is the one they wanted a series ago, and now they get it. Nice job by the O'Connor defense.
You're right, Don. That second surge, I was thinking to myself, well, way to go, meathead. You spoke too soon, but the linesman running in early and spotting it, and O'Connor is going to have a chance to cut this lead to 7 here with 2:58 left.
Don't forget to vote for your band grant, the $5,000 band grant. Text 3 for Johnson, 4 for O'Connor. They got to go quick. Ball's out. Flag flies. We may have a hold. They may get another shot with the Panthers.
And it's holding on O'Connor, and that is effectively put a bow on this one.
That's going to do it. Meanwhile, for the Johnson uniforms, Johnson's come a long way. As we check out the play, there's a hold on the outside. And fumble it away, and Johnson's got the football, and they'll put it away here. Johnson's come a long way, Chuck. Remember when they first started, they were all baby blue. Their colors are the Villanova Navy baby combination, which I like, you know, but they went way too baby blue. It's better if you emphasize the Navy. And now they've changed again, and they've got a Tennessee Titan look to them. I think they've done a nice job. I love the little 2 stripes on the thigh pad. I think that's the best part of this uniform.
Yeah, looks good. Now Parker Meza was the man that wrapped it up for the Johnson Jags tonight, falling on that ball. What a performance by both teams. This was a lot of fun.
Fun game, yeah. I mean, you look at the score, you say, okay, it was 35-7 or whatever. It must have been a blowout. No, this was a good game all the way through as we look at another Votech first down and new ball carrier into the ball game for the Johnson Jaguars, and that's Colin Wright. He's a junior.
We'll be seeing a lot of that young man in the weeks to come, too. They got a lot of guys that they like.
Here's what's coming up for the Jags. They'll be taking on the Legacy of Educational Excellence, and then MacArthur, and at Brandeis. Brandeis new to that district, as we told you. Young man again, he looks like a veteran, doesn't look like a youngster.
And our man Mark Kusenberger, who I've yet to see now in 2 weeks, has told us that Ty Reasoner does not play baseball, and obviously Mark knows more about all of this than we do. But as you look at the Panthers' upcoming schedule, they got Marshall, and then Taft and Harlan on the sketch.
Johnson content to watch that play clock dwindle. They're just getting reps now, trying to get this one over with. Colin Wright, 3 carries in a row, the junior running back.
Spencer Hawthorne in the game at quarterback.
And don't forget to go to sanantoniosports.org and nominate your teams who are doing great stuff in the community for our Beyond the Game program. Again, that's sanantoniosports.org. Share the story. Getting lots of them. Great things being done around the community. So Johnson's going to win this one. And also thanks to Mark Kusenberger. Now I'm really looking forward to the Brandeis-Johnson district matchup coming up, because when we talked about that district, there's some really good teams in that district, the Reagans of the world, etc. But Brandeis has been the class of this district. But they lost Jordan Battles, who's transferred to Holy Cross. And it's going to be interesting to see how these districts play out. O'Connor, I'm sure, will contend, as they always do, along with Brandeis.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, trust me, right? The one team you don't have to worry about is the O'Connor Panthers. I mean, yeah, the history, the tradition, and the dominance, quite frankly, of what they've been able to do in the Northside School District. It's just been unparalleled.
Well, stick around for the post-game show. We'll tell you our player of the game. There's been some good nominees, Chuck.
No doubt.
Early had McCreary.
How about 2 for Johnson? In on a ton of tackles.
Yeah, and the biggest play of the night.
Yeah, got some choices.
Reasoner's been solid.
Yep.
How about Locke from O'Connor?
Yep, that's right.
He made great plays. Yeah, a lot of nominees.
A lot of talent on display in this one, for sure. You know, O'Connor's young and inexperienced, but you can tell, I mean, it's not going to take him long to figure it out. Clean a couple things up and turn them loose.
That might just get us there. Maybe 2 more snaps. Yeah, we're going to have some fun district play from both of these districts. Very talented group of players all around the city this year.
Yeah, I mean, we've been lucky, right? 2 weeks in a row. The quarterback play we've seen.
Yeah, Cole Emmel last week from Fredericksburg.
Yeah, Bernie's QB was good.
Yep.
You know, that kid, we don't have to worry about him.
Sean Galloway. Now he's going to try a 38-yarder. He's got the leg for this one. It's just wide. And that'll stop the clock with 27 seconds left. And so 1 more snap for the O'Connor Panthers. And we'll have to see who Chris Kotfus and Brian Watts come up with for the player of the game. You know, they're the ones selected every week.
Get us off the hook. I know, right? It's tough.
Looking forward to next week's game as well. Veterans Memorial's always been a playoff contender since they've come into existence, and we get to see the kids from Castroville, Medina Valley, the Panthers. Boy, they're always competitive, fun to watch.
Look at that hoss run.
And they're playing Veterans Memorial next week right here on Thursday Night Lights. Part of a double header, kind of, for the week. Because the next night, we're out at East Central for a special edition of Thursday Night Lights, the Friday edition. So tune in Thursday and Friday next week. That's going to do it. Our final score, Johnson 35, O'Connor 21. Good football game by 2 well-coached teams, kind of just getting us all started in the first game for the 6A schools. And I think they'll social distance and say goodbye from a distance. And when we come back, we'll hand out our Monarch trophies here on TNL.
Welcome to the Taco Cabana Thursday Night Lights postgame show, presented by Thomas J. Henry.
Johnson the winner here tonight at Ferris Stadium, 35-21 over O'Connor. It's time to hand out the hardware. Let's go down to the sidelines and Zach Hedrick.
Thanks, Don, very much. Here with senior linebacker Sam Hall. Sam, congrats on a great game tonight.
Thank you, sir.
What was it like just getting out here finally? I mean, I know you and your defensive teammates were ready to go.
It felt great. I mean, between all the ups and downs of the summer and being able to be up there and then come home and there was times when we didn't know if this was going to happen or not. But with new coaching and everything, we just had a new energy coming into this season. We knew that we wanted to prove people wrong. And so we came out here and being able to be in our first game, it was just a great time. We just went out there and have fun. That was our priority.
So you showed some moves on the pick six. Do you got to tell Coach Soto now, hey, I'm ready for tailback?
Yeah, I always tell him when it's like second and goal, when it's close up there, he send me on a little 1-yard run right at the middle, little fullback.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Well, Sam, thanks very much.
Thank
Congrats.
you.
We're going to bring Coach Soto in here get his thoughts here. Coach.
Yes, sir.
You know, I know you were looking forward to this one. What was it finally like getting out here with your new squad?
Oh, it's great. I mean, these boys are really, really fun to work with. They're such great kids. They come up with some great families, and the whole school has just been amazing in welcoming the new staff. So it's been really easy transition. Besides all the COVID stuff, it's been real simple.
Well, and I know you told me before the start of the second half you wanted to see your squad execute. Looks like that happened there in the second half, despite a good comeback from O'Connor.
Definitely. You know, Coach Molesky has his boys ready to go at all times, and you can always expect a comeback. I'm really happy on how our kids responded. They've responded to everything that we've handed them since we've come in August, and it's been amazing.
Well, Coach, we're sorry we can't hand this off to you with the rest of your team behind you, but you can take that back to the locker room and celebrate, guys.
Oh, we're going to celebrate, all right. We're going to dance. Appreciate y'all.
Well, let's see it right now. You got some moves here?
I need some music. You got any music? We appreciate you guys. Thank y'all very much. Y'all do a great job.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Guys, back up to y'all.
We got more coming. We'll wrap it up when we come back here on TNL on the CW35. Welcome back to Johnson Cheerleaders. Have this one in the bag. Get it?
I see what you did there.
It's time for our AHIA highlights as we take a look at a really entertaining football game here tonight at Ferris Stadium. The Johnson Jaguars jumped out to an early lead thanks to Ben McCreary. Young man had a big night. Scored 2 touchdowns to make it 14-0. John Locke had just as big a night. Look at this play. Just strength and will to get into the end zone, cut it to a touchdown lead. Then another tough young man, Matt Rodriguez, had a couple touchdowns tonight. Then the play of the game by our player of the game, Sam Hall, with the pick, really turned the tide of this football game, Chuck.
Oh, indeed. I mean, we talked about it right at the end of the half, you know. You come up with a play like that, sparks you going into the locker room, and then look at the year. I mean, they just come back with a vengeance to start the third quarter, too. O'Connor tried to come back, ran the ball well, got into the end zone, and then 15 again making a huge play to cut it to a 2-score game at the time, but just too much to overcome, as it turns out.
Just wasn't quite enough. When we come back next week, we'll have Medina Valley and Veterans Memorial. 2 games in the books, 2 very entertaining ball games. We're looking forward to the rest of the season. For executive producer Dean Radla, producer extraordinaire Chris Kotfus, our director Brian Watts, and the entire crew that worked so hard to get this game on the air. Mark Kusenberger, our statistician, Chuck McAtenick, Zach down on the sidelines. I'm Don Harrison. We'll see you next week for TNL and FNL here on the CW35. Have a great weekend, everybody.